of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Boom, happy Friday. We are live. I believe we're live. Yes, we are live. Make sure my YouTube page was up. How you doing? Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, episode 155, the official preview show for Tottenham versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. I'll tell you what, they're about to be wandering into the wrong neck of town. Because when they stumble into N17 all the way from the Midlands, I expect an ass whooping. I'm also going to expect somebody to tell me how wrong I was yesterday. If you happen to be here yesterday, I was very much wrong. I thought it was a smoke screen. I thought Angel was playing 4D chess. Turns out Pedro Porro and Destiny Udogie are going to be out. But look, we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. But big ups to everyone who's here. However you're here, but I should say wherever you are. How you doing? It's Friday here in El Paso. I hope you're doing too well. I am too blessed to be stressed tonight. Let's see who gets the first place prize. And while I do that, let me make sure to let you know, as you always know, there's a poll here today. Question is predictions for Wolves versus Tottenham tomorrow. 81% says Spurs going to win despite the setbacks. Hey, can't hold me down. Hold that. Oh, we need this dub. We need 3 points badly. But big up everybody who has partaken in that poll. What else are y'all saying? 10% says high scoring battle, flip a coin. As you know, I always have one expectation of a match, and then as the week goes on, that expectation begins to shape and take hold because there's different factors. And honestly, I felt pretty confident that we were going to go in and do it tomorrow. But the fact that we have these setbacks, I would say I'm still confident, but not as confident, if that makes sense. But what does make sense is Zapur is the first place. He's taking the treble. He's got first place chat member, first YouTube member, and first moderator. That is a treble in my eyes. Big up Zapur. How you doing? Totspurs is here. Says big up Jacob in chat. Congrats on the treble, Zapur. David Calvino giving some congrats to Zapur as well. Love to see that. Nunny's here. Big up Nunny. The second and only Plymouth Argyle fan I've ever met. Well, I mean, I say meet, but how long's it been? Big up Jacob. Early kickoff for my boys tomorrow versus Leeds. Spurs boys going against each other. Big up. Yep, Joe Roden versus Alfie Devine and Ashley Phillips. That'll be quite a fun little soiree. Let me see. Someone just texted me a very silly GIF. Very silly GIF. And that someone may be the surprise guest. There may be a surprise guest. But big up Chang. Chang's in the house. Has a very good Saturday, February 17th. Because he's in the future, living in the future out there in Southeast Asia. It's match day. Only 16 hours to kick off another watch-along incoming, perhaps, Mr. Jacob. Chang, of course, yesterday I announced that going to be doing a watch along tomorrow. We're running it back. We got to run it back, y'all. Oh, what a fucking G. Hey, to the person who just texted me, said they're watching, here you go. That's for you. I hope that makes you feel good and bubbly inside. Much like whenever I drink out of this mug, which if you haven't had the chance to see, now you have. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is exactly what it looks like. I'll drink my drinks from that. Absolutely. But big up Chang. Hope you're doing well. Big up Ben Williams. Evening, Jacob. Hope all is good with you. All is fantastic with me. All is fantastic with me. But big up Ben Williams. Hope everything's fantastic. Is that a dog in your photo? I've never. Let me. It's like a stuffed animal dog, like some kind of stuffed animal dog. But big up, Ben. How you doing, Ben? Bob Down Under's here. Good day, Jacob and chat. Looking forward to the watch along. And the family's going to be awake at 8 o'clock. So kickoff is at 8 a.m. for me. Family will be awake. Therefore, I can scream into the ether. And isn't that quite fun? Tom Martin says, evening, Jacob and chat. Big up, Tom Martin. Big up to Tom Martin every single time. Big up, Yanis Rubelis. Zapur says, stream okay for you guys. I hope it is. Is it working? Are we live? It looks as though I'm live. My secret guest, but oh, what beautiful messages I'm receiving right now. If this guest is able, I'm going to say the guest that may or may not be able to join us tonight, it's going to be like catching lightning in a bottle. It's going to be like that time when stardust is sprinkled from the skies and you have your hands out wide and you are saying, yes, stardust, sprinkle upon my presence. Because their presence is a present. I'll say that. Big up Yanis Rubelis. Big up Jacob, Chewy, and chat. Hope you're all well. We need this dub. Oh, yes, we do need this dub. Todd Spurs is here. Says Emerson on the left and Dragon on the right is the question. We'll find out. You still have Swift call. What are you talking about, Bob? We're not talking about Taylor Swift. I'm so over Taylor Swift. She's done. She's done out here as far as I'm concerned. She's done out here. Big up Machiavelli. Machiavelli's in the house. Says, how's it going? Big up Rowan Kumar. Says, it's going to be Davies and Royale. I definitely think it's going to be Davies and Royale for what it's worth. Big up Todd Spurs every single time. Faz Radfar 3-1 Spurs is here. I know his score prediction. I don't even got to ask. Big up Jacob. Hope you and the family are well. 3-1 Spurs. No questions. No questions. No answers. No ifs, ands, or buts, I'll say. Maybe some butts, maybe a couple butts. Bob Down Under, Jacob Kuti to test out Huang's calf. Give it a little smooch, as I like to call it. Not necessarily a robust tackle, but a smooch. Just a little, hey, how you doing? Letting you know that I'm there. That's what I'm saying. Getting bits of lag here. Hope it's just me. Hopefully it's working. I definitely... It looks like it's working. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Zapur seems to be struggling out here with the stream. Hopefully, at least maybe the playback will work anyway. But look, got some news to get through. So let's get to it. But make sure you are hitting a like on the video. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, all that fun stuff. But obviously, the hot topic of the day, unfortunately, is that POSTECOGLOU is speaking on the impact of the injuries from Destiny and Pedro. Says it doesn't change the way we play, but I think I've said in the past a player brings their own sort of unique ability to each position. The structure won't change and the way we set up won't change. Now, I'm going to pause there because there's a few things that we must take into our consideration, because I know there's been a lot of talk of, oh, maybe we'll see three at the back, this, that, and the other. The first thing he says is it doesn't change the way we play. Their injuries is not going to change the way that we play, first and foremost. Then also says the structure won't change. The way we set up won't change. So no back three. The structure won't change. So the fullbacks are still going to invert. That's what I'm taking from this. Very straightforward and to the point, I might say. He goes on, ANGE POSTECOGLOU goes on to say, Pedro Porro and Destiny have been outstanding for us this year. Porro has pretty much played every single game apart from the first one where he didn't start. Destiny, every time he has been out there for us, he's been really important. They're both improving, but as I said, they're missing now, and there will be an opportunity for there'll be an opportunity for a couple of other guys to come in and make sure that we maintain the levels we've set so far. Excuse me one second. I need to stop drinking carbonated beverages while on stream because then it makes me burpy. But there it is, the unfortunate confirmation that for this weekend we will be without both of our ideal starting. You know, it sucks because right as I start to feel as though now we're going to get to see what this first 11 looks like after quite some time being apart. Then they take away two crucial pieces that have been around whilst other pieces have gone missing. So it's I'm going to be honest, quite unfortunate. I don't like it. I'm going to be real honest. I don't like it. But does that mean that we shouldn't expect 3 points tomorrow? For me, y'all, I'm going to say it doesn't change the fact that we are at home. We're going to have, arguably, in my opinion, although biased, I will admit, I'm going to say the best pair of center backs. I'm definitely the most beautiful pair. But as far as effective, maybe that's up for debate. Also, we're going to have our ideal midfield. The midfield that made us undefeated in the first 10 matches. James Maddison, Yves Bissouma, and Papa Matasar. God, my eyes, like... Maybe I'm sitting too close to a screen. It's making my eye go funny. I don't know. I still think there's enough there. They're going to be missing some pieces. We're going to be missing some pieces. And at the end of the day, it's who can get the best tune out of what they got to use. Now, there's been a lot of speculation as far as how we're going to set up. I did like this quote for a few reasons because it does, for one, put that to rest, that it doesn't matter the fact that they're out. We are going to set up the way that we always set up. It's not going to change the way that we play. So I can appreciate that, which is unfortunate news. I'll be real honest. So I've also got here ANGE POSTECOGLOU on Brennan Johnson. Well, actually, you know what? Why am I doing this? Let me save that. Oh, but let me show you this. Pedro Porro. Emerson Royale, he posted on his Instagram. Sorry, my guest. I'm in cohorts with my guest right now. He's asking if I allow swearing. What do y'all, would y'all say that I allow swearing? I would say so, because big fucking dubs in the chat for my man Chang, gifting 5 memberships. All right, he gifted 5 of them. Let's see, do we even have 5 people who aren't members? Because Chang's so generous, David Shear's so generous. We've got a lot of generous folks in this here beautiful United Spurs of America community. Dave O, Spurs King, Jazz Fusion, Mara Vingen, and Talking Ball. Welcome to the party. I should say welcome to the family. You've already been here at the party, but if I've just read off one of your 5 names, you need to say dub in the chat for Chang right now, because big up Chang every single time, blessing us yet again. What a man. What a man. What a man. What a mighty good man, I should say. Yo, this show may be bussing here in a minute. We might find out here in about 15 minutes how bussy this show's about to get. Let me see. I don't think I said... Did I say hello to everybody? But big up Chang. Dubs in the chat right now for Chang. If you did get one of those memberships. Talking Beers here all the time, and he got a membership. What a lovely day for him. It's got to be Paul then coming on with the lightning, if that was a clue. It wasn't a clue. I only said he's like... Because this is a person I've been asking to try and get on the channel for quite some time, and he might actually be able to make it tonight. And how blessed will we be? Oh, we'll be so blessed. Too blessed to be pressed. Indeedy weedy. Cal L Agent, big up my friend. Good to see you back in the chat. So it won't happen for sure, but would personally like to see Dragusin either start or get something like half an hour. That shift against Everton has annoyed me ever since. Hope you're good as always. I'm great. I'm fantastic, Cal. I hope you are as well. For me, I like the idea more of Van de Veen as our left back, Dragusin and Romero as our center backs, and then Emerson Royale as our right back. than I do Ben Davies and Emerson Royale as our starting fullbacks. However, I do believe it's going to be Ben Davies and Emerson Royale that get the start. I'm going to be honest. I do think it's going to be them two that get the start. That's going to be the most reliant, dependent thing I think that Ange Postecoglou can use. So, but big up, Cal. Good to see you in the house, my friend. Mount Everest Hotspur, maybe the highest elevated Hotspur there is. Says up the Spurs. Big up. How you doing? Donovan's here. Big up, Donovan. We get our attackers back and the fullbacks get hurt. Story of Spurs season: 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's what I'm saying, man. The world is trying to hold us down, and not in the good way. Not whenever you find a nice shorty, you find a nice girl, and she's like, I'm going to hold you down. That's the good holding down. The world is trying to hold us down and hold us back. And how unfortunate it is. Compact is here. How's it going, Jacob? Mate, Udogie and Porro, what is going on at the club? And Fraser Forster. I mean, not that that like impacts our first 11 in any shape or form, but you know, Fraser Forster fractured his foot. So yeah, something's going on in training, man. These players falling down. They getting hurt. But honestly, Pedro Porro and Destiny Udogie, they've been playing so many minutes that it's actually, it might be a blessing in disguise for their feet, for their bodies, to get a little rejuvenation, get a little, let me feel better, you know, a little talking to me nicely. But big up Compact, good to have you in the house. Scott M is here. Big up, Scott M. I want to know what you voted, A, B, C, or D, Scotty. 42 votes. 81% says Spurs win despite the setbacks. Come on, Scott. I don't think that was part of your vote. I'm going to say Wolves taking the campfire dinner is what you chose. You probably think them Wolves are going to be them dirty little Wolves, don't you? Mount Everest says, smash that like button, folks. Our man is back live again today. Big up for you. Big up, Mount Everest. Are you really out there, Mount Everest? That's my main question. It's such a niche role that we need to get backup fullbacks for these moments. By the way, as you were wondering, my profile picture is a character called Sweep from a British kids show my son likes. Fair play, Ben. I like that. Didn't know it. It looks kind of cool. So there you go. I like that. What the fuck profile is this? Big Mike says Ainge not changing the way he plays is going to cost him long term. That's one way of viewing it. I don't know if I agree. I think there needs to be some flexibility, but like I do think there needs to be a system in place. We've lacked that for quite some time. An ethos, a way that you can say to the academy, to the U17, to the U7s, all of them play the same style as the first team. Therefore, when these James Madison, these Destiny Udogies go out hurt, guess what? We still got a player in this academy in our system that has been playing that position for years. That's one of the things I asked for last summer. So I actually like the fact that he's getting stuck in the ways, and he's gone out and said, look, this is the way I play. Either you're going to like it or you're going to hate it or you're going to love it. And I'm going to play the way that I want to play while I'm here. And until I'm not here, then it's going to be what it's going to be. And I love that. I love his confidence in his style and his setup. And I think once we have the players and the depth to play and understand his philosophy and the way that he wants to play, once we can do that, in the past it has shown he always has success wherever he was at, playing his way. In the beginning it was not easy, it was painful, but then once the players finally got it down, you get a couple more pieces to get that thing down, shoo, it's off to the races. Who knows what we could do? That's what I'm saying. That's my point. But look, I don't know if y'all saw this. Emerson Royale put on his Instagram letting you know kickoff versus Tottenham versus Wolves. Emerson Royale, he's letting you know it's game day. I saw this, and I don't know how much truth there is to it, but according to Talk Sport, Ange Postecoglou is keen to sign Pedro Neto. I know that's not about, I mean, I guess it's technically about Wolves because this fucker plays there. And I'm kind of actually, I'm actually concerned about what he might do tomorrow. It's always the players we get linked with that fucking put a masterclass performance on us. I just hope we can keep him quiet. I hope we can. You already know Emerson, social media goat, compilation king. Good morning, Tony D. How you doing? Morning, Jacob and Chewy. Big Mike says it's more like a prison holding down, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Prison holding me down, holding me down. Sweep takes me back to the 70s. I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? Hypnoise? Hypnoise? Flexibility. I think he is flexible. He showed that. And every time that he got slapped in the face. When we played Wolves the first time, for instance, we set up and played so much different to what we had been playing previously. So he definitely changed it, and then we got smacked, and then he changed it back. I'm curious how you ended up becoming a Spurs fan. That's a long story. It's a long story, Ben Williams, but yeah. I'll have to share that on another stream because I don't want to take up too much time doing that. But shout out Clint Dempsey. That's what I'm gonna say. This is the first time I really had a dose of Tottenham was because of Clint Dempsey. But I'd always been watching, but I'd never really known what Tottenham was. And then I was like, oh, that seems like a cool club to follow. And then just followed them and fell in love. And the rest is history. Ellie says, we are Spurs and we will... Hey, big up Queen Ellie. Says, we are Spurs, we will conquer just like my daughter did today. Had a massive op, Jacob, and I left her in good hands of the nurses now. We'll go see her tomorrow morning. Ellie, sending lots of love to your daughter for that massive operation. Hopefully everything's great. Hopefully you're doing well. Big up Ellie. Dubs in the chat for Ellie every single time. Neto, we are sending him to the ghetto. I like that, Ellie. Oh, you seem like you're in good spirits. Good to see you, Ellie. Always good to have you in the house with us today. La-di-di-da. Oh, excuse me. Wrong thing there. People saying that Ainge doesn't change our sheep, says Ren. Well, hello, Ren. Good to see you in the house. The Ben. Okay, sorry, Hypnoise. You're here enough. You know how my ADHD works. Like I'll be talking about one thing, then forget completely what we were just talking about. Like sweep. Forgot what that was immediately. Jono, how you doing? Are you from Texas like Clint Dempsey? Yes, I am. I ain't from Nacogdoches, but we're from the same neck of the woods, so that's my boy, Clint Dempsey. I love me some Deuce Deuce. It was a very short time that he played for Tottenham, but that was, I would say, like, yeah, I love. I have the card somewhere. Where is it? Hang on. Shout out my man Chang. My man Chang sent me this Clint Dempsey card. It's pretty sick. It's autographed. Revolution card. Fuck with me. Love to see that. Put that right here. I like it up here, boy. Big up Chang. Gifted membership. Sending me gifts. What a man. What a man. What a man. What a mighty good man. Ren says Ainge has a philosophy, a style of play. Dead set idiots just think he doesn't alter anything. Absolute noobs. Ren, I do like that goalkeeper shirt that's in your profile photo, that yellow one. That's a nice one. Is that this year's? Johnson is my drug. Tottenham is my dealer. That is a new name. And are you talking about Brennan Johnson? You love Brennan Johnson like that? What is this photo? What is this photo? That don't look like falafel. I'm just going to say that. Whatever that photo is, that does not look like falafel. But hello, how you doing? David Covington says, I went in a Neto. It makes little look like Herod's. David Calvino, I don't know what you just said. David, I don't know what this comment means. Lidl. I don't know what that is. I went in a netto. I don't know what a win in a netto means. I don't, but big up David Calvino nonetheless. I'm going to decipher this as you want Neto. I want Neto. We want Neto. Or maybe you don't want Neto to do well tomorrow. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what's going on there. Love a Texas accent. Best accent in the States. Big up, Jono. Love to hear that, my friend. I don't know if I have a Texas accent, but sometimes they say I do. Teabag, I hate your picture. I fucking hate your photo, Teabag. It's a kebab from Blackpool. Y'all are testing me tonight. I ain't getting distracted by the chat, all right? I got a lot of things to talk about. And lately, I've been letting the chat get me super distracted. So I'm not going to let that happen. Here's some balloons for your troubles. How about that? This is for the chat. And these balloons are also going out to everybody who has hit the like. Double balloons. See that? Brow. You ain't getting balloons anywhere else. But you are getting them here in United Spurs of America. So go ahead, hit that like. Make sure you are supporting the channel. That's absolutely free. All right? It costs nothing. But big up Chang, gifted 5 United Spurs of America memberships. I do appreciate that. Daily Hotspur here. Again, nobody has to change their photos. I don't care what you put. Whatever floats your boat, my friend. That's what you want your photo to be. That does not look like no kebab that I've ever seen. No. Manny Soto, what are you? No, Manny Soto. Are you not a Spurs fan? Why are you saying this? That's not nice. Off topic, Jacob. Are San Jose Earthquakes any good? A friend of mine here in Norway just got signed by them. I would say they haven't been good lately. They've been bottom of the barrel in the MLS lately, but they have some good fans. I like their stadium. It's very close to the water. Big up Chang. This super chat's for Queen Ellie and her daughter. Big up Queen Ellie. Hey, here's some hearts for Queen Ellie and her daughter. Sending some love to Queen Ellie and her daughter. Send the fucking hearts. Come on now. I'm trying to do the hand gesture. Am I fucking up the heart? Here we go. I guess the heart kind of looks shitty. Well, you know what? Ellie, I tried to give you some more hearts, but this thing doesn't want to work. Big up Bob down under says, hey, look over here. Oh, you tricky bastard. Yeah, see, you're catching my attention, and this is the best of ways. I will get distracted for a super chat. I think that's totally okay. Getting distracted for a super chat. We're allowed to do that, aren't we? Come on now. Davies, Van de Veen, Romero, Real is our backline tomorrow. To kid yourself. Yeah, I know. It's absolutely going to be. But I'd prefer Van de Veen as our left back. Fuck it. Let Dragusin play in the center back. Let's see what he's got. Let's get him some more minutes. Find out if he's actually mustard or if he's mayo. You know? You only find out whenever you give him the chance. United Spurs of America. Hey, Jacob, as a Swiftie, I disliked everything you said about Taylor Swift. You can dislike her or disagree with her opinion, but don't spread hate. I liked you before. Haters gonna hate. Hate. And I'm just going to shake. Hey, you know what? Big up. If you're a Swiftie, it is what it is. We all hold our opinions. I wasn't spreading hate, more as I was trying to make everybody aware of the situation. But I'm going to say this to you, Asil Gadir.
I thought you fucker. But you clever fucker.
All right, that's for you. Big up Sean D. Sending some hearts in the chat. Manny Soto says, I'm a gooner, but I like your opinion sometimes compared to other deluded Spuds fans. Big up Manny Soto. I do not want to see a Pedro Neto masterclass. I'm actually kind of afraid. I was alluding to the fact that usually who we're linked with is they usually ball out against us. Or if we've recently made fun of a player, then they're going to ball out against us. Shout out Jared Milner. Shout out Pascal Gross, those bastards. Big up Sean D. Hitting the hearts. I love to see it. Hearts in the chat for Ellie. Big up Ellie every single time. I genuinely thought he was asking about earthquakes in San Jose. No, it's an MLS team. It's in Major League Soccer. they were really good, and then they moved to Houston. Like the franchise moved to Houston, and then Houston won a couple MLS Cups with San Jose's team. But then San Jose started a new team, or a new team started and has something like that. That's what happened. Sorry to hear that, my friend, if you don't like me anymore. But hey, Taylor Swift can hold that to the highest degree. Jono wants Dragoosin. I'm down for some Dragooski. 7, big up. How you doing? Big up to 7. Big up to my wife who just walked in the door. Hello, my wife. Good to see you. Taylor Swift is, well, internet guy. What, you know? She might be. Sudi star. David Calvino, this is the second or third message. You're always here, and you've said this little. I don't know what these things are. I definitely don't know I don't know what these things are. Prediction for 2025: Tottenham will beat Wolves 2-1 in the League Cup final. Goals from Sonny and Neto as he joins us in the summer. Oh wow. Oh wow. Bye. I love you. Wow. My oh my. Hey Johnson, I'll take it. Hey, winning in the League Cup final, give me that trophy. Talk to me nicely every single time. Yeah, man, you gotta be careful when you piss off them Swifties. They're everywhere. Hey Chewy, Jacob, how are we doing? Are you beating Wolves? Says Castro. Chewy is here. He's sleeping, as you can see, as he always does. But big up Castro. Good to see you in the house. We are absolutely going to beat Wolves. 100%, Castro. 100%. Spur Squad says, that's funny. One more time, please. Your clip. Which clip? This one? That one? Or the Gordon Ramsay one? Which one? Who's your NFL team? Bro, commercials win every time. But, I mean, I root for the Cowboys just because, yeah, big up Cowboys. Baloo, big up Jacob. Are you a Justin Bieber fan? I dislike him, so sorry, Jacob. I don't really care, but if the allegations against P. Diddy are true, I feel really bad for Justin Bieber. So, but big up Justin Bieber, I guess. Do you play the cello? No, that's my wife's cello. She plays the cello. And we share the studio space. So she does music therapy. She plays the You know what? I'm getting super distracted by the chat today, and I literally just said fucking 7 minutes ago, I'm not getting distracted by the chat. But y'all are distracting me. Sudi and Sweep are kids puppets. Like Kermit the Frog or something. Ben Williams, we're not getting into the Taylor Swift talk, not tonight. NBA team Dallas Mavericks every single time. Or Chicago Bulls. I do love me some Chicago Bulls. A good evening to you. That's funny. Play it again. Y'all are trying to distract me now. Garden Ramsden. Spurs squad. Okay.
I thought, you fucker. But you clever fucker.
That's quite nice. Manny Soto, you came here, bro. Don't start with me today, Manny Soto. All right, do not start with me today. Derek Smith says, regarding your poll, what setbacks? First of all, big up Derek Smith. Hello, how are you doing, bro? The setbacks is no destiny. We are missing the best left back in the league and the second best right back in the league. All right, those are setbacks. Those are the setbacks I'm talking about. Best Tottenham players currently: Heung-min Son, James Madison, Kuti, Vicario, Destiny. We got a few. We got a few. Did you enjoy the last 2 Arsenal games? No, I did not. It was absolutely horrible. But the great part was when y'all beat the shit out of West Ham, I was laying in bed with my beautiful wife and my son. And I said, I'm done watching this. I'm good. You're a Bulls fan and a Taylor Swift hater. I do love me some Bulls. Cannot lie about that. Yes, Cuti Romero. That is my guy. That is absolutely my guy. Big up Castro, big up Spurs squad, big up everybody. All right, I'm done. We're done. I caught up in the chat. That we're done there. I did it. Caught up in the chat. There it is. Hey, hang on now. Whoa. I'm trying to think of the best way to frame this up. Like when you acquire an exclusive piece of art, what is the best frame? A nice mahogany wood finish? You want it stained? Are we going just a simple steel frame, frameless, depending on the art piece? Here's the thing. This is not a person that I would put in any kind of box or any kind of frame because they shine bright like a diamond. Shout out Rihanna. Welcoming back to the channel after a long overdue. We got Danny Kiriakou. What's up, my guy?
Jacob, man, you're too much, man. I love you. I actually love you. I'm good.
Bro.
How are you? It's been a very, very long time, my friend. It's been a very
long time.
Yeah.
First of all, how's life? How's everything? And you've moved and a lot of major life movements. So hope life's treating you well.
It's good, man. Work is busy. It's just whenever the reason why I don't stream as much as I've told you, like, is when I'm not working, I don't want to be anywhere near a computer because I work a lot of hours. So I like to just use my time to do other things, right? Like away, go have some drinks, go have some food, go to some parties,
bro.
whatever.
Just walk the city too.
You know
I
mean?
bet that's just get out there and breathe some air. I definitely know what you mean.
But no,
great to have you on, man.
Yeah, it's good to be on. It's funny because I came home from work and I was like, I was taking a shit basically, and then Sean messaged me going, "Oh, do you wanna go on a stream?" I was like, "Do you know what, Sean? I was gonna do some other work, but then I was like, do you know what? Yeah, fuck it, why not? I'm gonna go on." And it was nice to be on the stream with Sean and the other guys who was on the stream today. And when you messaged me, I was like, yeah, I can't say no to you, Jacob. Now I'm like in the mood for it, and like I've done a stream, I can do a bit more. I can spend some more time for you, man. So
love to hear it, man.
Thanks for inviting me as well. Appreciate it.
Hey, you're always welcome as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, like lightning in a bottle, like stardust being sprinkled upon you on a shooting star night. You know what I'm saying? We are so blessed. So great to have you in the house, my friend. Let me ask you just a quick question off the top because it has been such a long time since I've officially talked to you here on the channel.
Yes.
What have you made of our season so far? I mean, undefeated 10 games. The wheels kind of fell off. Some say the car broke down completely. I say we just had 4 flats at once. So the car technically couldn't move. Like it could move, but it wasn't moving well. But what have you made so far of ANGE POSTECOGLOU in his first 7 months? Obviously, we know the signings have been what they are. We could discuss that, but I want to more ask just generally, ANGE POSTECOGLOU, Tottenham Hotspur in the first 6 months of this season. What have you really made of us so far?
So like I was in the summer, I was one of the few. There was a few of them, and I remember when Paul, right, when he did his bit on ANGE POSTECOGLOU, and I remember him doing it. I can't remember whose show it was, but when he started talking about how ANGE was, I obviously then started researching more because let's be honest, not many of us watch Celtic games or other games and stuff like that, so we don't really follow him, right? But when he started talking about him, and then I actually started doing some research, I watched documentaries on him. The more and more I saw him, I just thought he is exactly what Tottenham needed. And for me, how I felt about ANGE in the last sort of 7 months or so he's been at the club, I think he's done very well with the cards he's been dealt, basically. So I'm accounting for, first of all, the biggest thing. People forget this, right? But I don't know if people remember. You know, we lost Harry Kane in the summer. We lost Harry Kane, right?
Oh,
like
who's
the
that?
guy?
Who's
Yeah,
that guy?
I don't remember him. But
who the fuck is that guy?
The guy who carried us for like the last few fucking years.
I still stand by the best fucking striker in the world. I stand by that still.
No, 100%. But like for
real
us
quick, just a small caveat. Bro, if he was in the squad, are we challenging for the title at this fucking juncture right
I
now?
think
If
so.
Houston,
I think so.
bro, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, if Harry Kane's in this side, we are actually, bro. He has a first half hat trick last week.
Yeah, could you imagine the chances if you watch like Richarlison's not the fastest player, right? But I reckon he's probably a similar type of speed to Kane. Now, can you imagine Kane in those positions that Richarlison's been in? And we'll go into Richarlison after, but
he finishes every single one of those. We've seen that when he won the Golden Boot with Jose Mourinho. That's what he was doing. Was literally not just being the conductor, but the striking aspect of where he was when he was striking so well under Jose Mourinho was literally just get him the ball. There were so many times when it was him with one defender and the goalkeeper, and what does he do? He's a sniper with the motherfucker. He takes that thing. He find where is it that no one can touch it. But and to me, we miss that clinicalness, because if you look at it, there's a statistic that I don't like looking at a bunch of stats and stuff, but there are some that I find that are interesting. We're in the. It's us and Manchester City are the only two clubs to touch the ball in the opposition's box over 200 times.
Yeah. And
what do we do with those 200 fucking touches?
That's the problem.
Six less goals than Manchester City, and we have 20 more touches, I think it is. So it's
do you know what, Jacob? Right, you can see the way Ange wants to play football. Right, he wants to play the type of football that you kind of like what you'd usually play in the old FIFAs, right, where you go to the byline, tap it into the box, and you score a goal. He wants the strikers to be in and around that box, and most of the finishes that we have are inside the box, right? I can't even remember how many we've actually had outside the box. 1 or 2, if that. Maybe 3, but
Pedro
it's not
Porro
a lot.
FA Cup comes to mind.
But like,
was Richarlison's on the outside of the box versus Everton?
Madison had one as well against Brent. Was it Brentford? No.
Yeah, he went far post, low driven shot, far post. I think it was.
Yeah.
Bournemouth or Sheffield, something like that.
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah. Well, we won 5-2. I can't remember who it was now. But
that's Burnley.
Burnley. It was the Burnley.
Yeah, it was Burnley.
That's the one where it was. I think it was either just outside the box. I think it was, and he bent it around the keeper. But you can count how many times we've scored goals from outside the box, right? But if you look at the way Ange wants to play, it's very clear, like the way he wants to play. I think Ange believes, and like how he was talking about Johnson today in his comments, the way he wants to play and the way he wants people to be driving into that box at the far post, and the winger to winger type of football, or winger to striker, that's kind of what he wants, right? So if you have someone who's competent up front, who can actually bury the ball in the back of the net, like who's not complacent, then I reckon we score a lot more goals. And this is the debate we were having on Sean's show earlier about why I think it's a matter of time until Richarlison kind of drops away a little bit from that number 9 and Son is given a go again, because I actually think we play better football when Son's in that number 9, purely because I know that he's not like the player who holds up the ball. Maybe Richarlison recently has got better at doing that, but if you actually look at like how the football we played as a team when Son was there, and I'm not trying to discredit Richarlison for what he's done in terms of his form recently, and you can see he's improving, but I still think he's an average player who's just in good vein of form. With Son, some of those chances that Richarlison's had, Son is putting them away, right? And I reckon the scoreline would be better.
He could have 2-3 in the first half as well.
Easily. If Son's on his
that's
game,
something that I was thinking about too. Like I thought about it before the match versus Brighton, where I was like, when I think of our strongest 11, it was Son through the middle. And you look at all the times that Richarlison has the ball in a match, and if that's Son, my hope and the likelihood of us scoring is a lot higher than it is with Richarlison. Now, to his credit, he has scored 9 and 10, something like that. So he's scoring goals. Form. He's in good form, and he's getting into good positions, the positions that we're asking him to get into. It's like, I threw out that maybe Sonny should start through the middle and we let Richarlison get a rest, and it's you don't bench an informed number 9 was kind of the resounding.
That's I think the biggest problem. Like what I was saying earlier as well was the fact that the way I see Richarlison is that he is a player who really needs the confidence to play the game that he plays. Right, I feel that people forget the fact that there's a difference between form, a difference between class. Right. form is temporary, class is permanent. It's such a cliche saying, but it's so true. And I really honestly believe that when it comes to Richarlison. I think
I said that maybe 1,000 times last year in regards to Son.
But the thing is, Son, obviously, he's done it over a number of years, right? He's got double figures over a number of years. So I don't know if Son is still in, if he's not in that world-class bracket, but it's some days.
Hey, I think he is. Our manager said he is.
Yeah,
so, but in the sense of like completely flip a game on its head in crucial moments like a final, or he hasn't done that. He has played a few finals for us, and he hasn't done those in it.
He has done it in some big games, like in Champions League against Man City. Like he was, when Harry Kane was out, and he was the star of it. Him and Lucas Moura, basically. And
there's been time. I mean, how many times when Harry Kane had an ankle injury, he carried us through results as well. So I agree, he is capable of it. It's just definitely. Specifically when you objectively say in finals, whether it be Carabao Cup, Champions League final. He was unable to really grab the game by. I don't like that phrase, grab the game by the scruff of the neck and like take it, like do what you want with it. Because I mean, to be fair, there's been plenty of times I've seen world-class players lose fucking games. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. It is. Real quick, I want to say big shout out to 7SC for the gifted United Spurs of America membership. I appreciate that. I'll make sure to give you all a big shout out at the end. Big up Chang for the super chat and the gifted memberships, and big up Bob as well. Thank you all so much for your monetary investment into the channel. And real quick, while we have over 100 people in the house, make sure you are hitting a like on the video. Make sure you are getting your vote in the poll right now. I see 83 votes with 76% saying Spurs are going to win despite the setbacks. Look, Danny, before we start really talking about the Wolves preview, there's another thing I want to get your opinion on. We're talking about a couple.
Before you do, I just want to say, like with Ange, like you're asking me the question before, like how I feel with him is I feel that I feel that Ange knows exactly what he needs. I feel that Ange is in a process at the moment, and I think with him, he probably feels, in my opinion, that once he gets enough players in that squad where he feels he can trust everyone in that squad that to come in and play their part, that's good enough to play the way he wants to play, I think we're onto something. But the problem is, we all know it's a matter of time to see whether the board are going to go the same way we all think it's going, and the way we kind of see it going, they have to keep doing it. Like, for example, Pedro Neto, Rafinha, or Nico Williams, you go and get a winger like that, that's, for me, a statement. That's, for me, showing maybe, just maybe, they're starting to realize the mistakes they've made, the board that is, and they're going to finally like do something different and actually believe in a manager like they didn't believe in Poch when they had the chance to, believe in Ange and his philosophy and his way, and maybe they might reap the benefits of it. But it all depends on what they want. So it's a waiting game, right? For me, it's the same thing.
This has kind of put me into a funny position, because when I go on to rival big channels and they ask, like, if you miss out on top four, is it a disappointment now because of the way that the season's gone? And for me, Danny, I've often explored the thought that if we get Champions League football with this squad, that signals to the board we did it. We did what we set out to do, which is get back to top four. We have Ange. We have this minimal budget. Look what it got us. And that says your squad's done. We've completed our task. And that's what I fear for. I think if we were to get Europa League, then in a sense that tells we're not quite there yet. You want that sweet, sweet nectar, that fucking juicy pomegranate Champions League juice. You want that shit dripping on you, baby. You got to come talk to me nicely. We need reinforcements. We are not there yet.
We do.
That is what I fear of that a little bit, that if we get this Champions League, that says, boom, we did it. Our job is done. Look where we're back.
That's Jacob. I feel the same way. And that's where it comes down to, are they going to build the depth of the team? If they're going to target players, don't just go and target players for the bench. Target players that are going to improve the first 11, because then the players that are playing now, like, for example, like your Johnsons, I still believe Johnson was never a player signed for first team football. I believe he was signed for a long-term Ange project, someone who could come in, rotate. And I think we've seen with Johnson, I mean, I never wanted him in the first place. I'm going to give him a chance, obviously. doesn't mean I can't give my opinion on what I see in front of me and how I feel about him, right? Doesn't mean I'm a negative in if I say I don't think Johnson's a good player. I don't see anything that shows me that he's got that something to make me believe he's got potential, right? But Ange has obviously spoken about him today and said that he's starting to understand, and he understands what I want him to do, getting to the box. And I know that his off the ball work and his general
Don't you have those
gameplay.
quotes right? Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Don't look at that, everybody. To look away from your screen. This is the one. The quotes that he had.
This is the one. This is the quote. Yeah, like what you're saying, right? It showed in the last couple of times. What did he say? It becomes difficult to stop.
I got it. Yeah, he said he showed that last week, and he showed it in the last couple of times. It becomes really difficult to stop when you've got that synergy between our attacking players. So having a goal last week of winger to winger is good because they get rewarded for things that we speak about, and then they understand how important it is, and hopefully this keeps them looking for more growth.
Definitely. And I get what he's saying, and I still believe that. I think as much as I didn't want Johnson, I think that they probably didn't feel that he was going to play as much as he has played, and that's purely down to like the injuries we've had. I think he was always meant to be like someone they're going to try and ease into it slowly with Johnson, and I think he's kind of just been rushed into it very quickly. So. Look,
I agree. I think that he was brought in under the aspect of like Kulu's going to be our starting right winger, and when Kulu's not, and he came in and he was first starting on the left. He was our left winger because we were so unclinical in the 9 that we had to move our clinical left winger into the central, and then we said, Johnson, you go out there on the left. And I think it was a little bit of young baby thrown into the big boy pool too soon. And sometimes, but the thing is, he hasn't drowned in the waves. I will give him that to his credit. He has goal contributions. He could have more. His crosses into the box could be better. To me, what I find my most frustration with Brennan Johnson is his decision making in the final third. His decision making with the ball at his feet. Whenever it's like, do I pass, shoot, or drive? And it's always the wrong one. Not always, but
do you know what it is, Jacob? It's because you can. When I've been to the stadium this season, I've been 4 times this season, and when I've seen him play, and you watch the stuff that you maybe don't see on the TV, right? People who have actually physically like looked at him to see what he's doing, his positional awareness is awful, like it's terrible, right? And you can see he doesn't have that football intelligence that some of the other players have, like a Maddison or someone like that, or Son. Son is debatable as well, but with Maddison, like he's got football IQ. But with Johnson, you don't see that. You just see someone who I think he still lacks the fitness to play in this team. He still blows out after like 20 minutes, even coming on against Brighton the other day. He was like jogging around in defense and not tracking back and not helping. And he was saying that he was tired after 20 minutes of playing, 25 minutes. I mean, you play 1 game a week and you're tired after 25 minutes. Please, come on. Like, you need to really sort that shit out. Like, so I think with Johnson, look, I don't mind Johnson as a squad player, someone like who they're going to rotate, as long as it doesn't stop them signing someone who's better, like a Nico Williams. You go and sign Nico Williams, I'm all for having someone like Johnson because it tells me that they know that they've spent a lot of money on him, but they still want to improve. And that's the biggest thing for me. If I see that they're going to keep improving with better players, then I don't care what they spend on players. I really don't. I just want to keep seeing improvements. And that's where, for me, it's going to be the judgment of whether the board are doing the right thing this time or they're just doing the same old shit that we always fucking see.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's my other hope that I would throw into the aspect of, is the club going to do something different and do it properly this time? I would say that we've been laying the foundation to do the right thing at this juncture because there's no stadium. There's no looming numbers of like, we got to solve this. There's also more people between Daniel Levy and the footballing decisions. There's Scott Munn. There's that Anderson guy. There's Anderson works for, sorry about the balloons, I really didn't mean that. And then there's also what's his name motherfucking Johan Lange. You know what I'm saying? There's guys, and Johan Lange has 2 people who work for him. That's about 4 or 5 different people between Daniel Levy and the first team, and
even
that is what we need
as well.
Paratich, hey, it don't matter if he in the courtroom bathroom. He's still here. He's still making phone calls. Hopefully we can get some more little gems. Speaking of gems, 7SC gifted 5 United Spurs of America memberships. All right, so big up first and foremost. Dubs in the chat for my man or Woman 7SC gifting the 5 memberships. Cool. Nico, Justin Glazer, a dude, Sid FCB. Congratulations to the 5 of you. You have been gifted 5. Well, you've been gifted a membership, but 5 of y'all gifted a membership. I appreciate that. Big up 7. That's 6 gifted
big
from
up
7.
7SC.
6 gifted from 7. How about that?
That is very generous tonight. Big up to you.
Yeah. Big up, big up. Hey, actually, you know what? This is for you, 7. Some fireworks, because you got this thing popping tonight. How about that? Big up Bob down under with the Australian.
New things they do now. It's wicked.
But the worst is when you're like, well, I was on some show and I was like going hard into my point and I was rambling and I was ranting and it was like real serious. And then fucking balloons and confetti start popping up. And I was like, no.
How does it even work? Like, is it certain like gestures or something that like triggers it, or?
Yeah, so like you do a peace sign and it gives you balloons. I'm learning them, and then you do double peace sign and it gives you confetti.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Okay, well it's supposed to. So there you go, double peace sign. There's confetti.
I love that.
Double thumbs up is the fireworks.
That's wicked.
And then like 1 thumbs up usually does that. And then you got the rain, so you can do double thumbs down, gives you some rain.
Oh, I love that. That's so good.
I think the last one is you do this and you get laser beams. Oh, no, you got to do 2. There he goes. Look at that.
Oh,
some fucking laser beams.
I love it. That's brilliant. That comes in handy at certain moments, though.
Hey, yeah, it's kind of cool, you know? I like it. I like it a lot. It adds a different layer, you know.
Oh, it's that dimension. That's exactly it.
Big up Bob Down Under for the super chat as well. It says, BJ is a gift for content creators. Hours of content. That is true. It has been a topic of much discussion, Brendan Johnson. Obviously, I don't hold the price tag over the young man's head. But what I do hang over his head is the minutes in which you could, again, I think my biggest problem with him is decision making in the final third, and that is something that is absolutely coachable, I think. And he's been popping up into the right areas. Like if his football IQ was worse than what it is, he doesn't hit that game winner versus Brighton. You know what I mean?
No, he doesn't. Like they're definitely so what I've seen of Brendan Johnson when he came into the Premier League, even from Nottingham Forest, is that I haven't seen a player that like makes me think, oh wow, he stands out for someone at his age at 22 to going on 23 in like 2 months time. That makes me think, oh wow, this kid has got like potential, right? I just see an average player who he's fast when he's got open space and space to drive into, but when he's got the ball, he's very slow. He doesn't beat his man. He can't beat a one-on-one. His decision making is most of the time quite poor. It's like 1 in every 6 or so it comes off. But saying that, he has also helped with some of the points that we've accumulated this season. And he is, in the last few games, I've seen him get into better positions, like the one he got onto the end of the cross for Werner against, was it Bournemouth when we went 2-1 up, I think it was, recently at home. And you've seen, again, a similar type of goal where he's got to the back post and he scored the winner for us. And Ange is obviously talking about that kind of type of movement that he's doing, that he's getting into the box. So he's definitely kind of learning what the manager wants him to do. But
I agree with you. And this was kind of my point as to why I defended the Timo Werner loan deal. Not the buying. I don't want to even think about buying him. You give me fucking go score 7 goals and give me 7 more assists. Hey, I'm gonna be talking to. But when we brought him in, I said it's not individual brilliance that we're going to need from him. We need systematic adequacy. We need him to be adequate in the system. And if you can use your natural abilities, for what it's worth, Timo Werner has high football IQ. He gets into those positions because of his footballing intelligence. Now his speed helps him get there, and it's his fucking final swing of the fucking leg, you know. That's the part where he goes fucked up. But we don't need him to be Harry Kane with that final leg
No.
part. We just need you to do your part. And I think it's the same thing with Brendan Johnson now, where the difference in expectations come in. He's young, he hasn't proven in the Premier League, and he's cost a lot of money. So when you put those things in there, people start saying, oh, now my expectations are rising for the young man. For me, I've always said, we got to at least give him a fucking preseason under Postecoglou. Next year is when I got the magnifying glass out, and I'm going to be really either praising him or harsh on him, depending on what he does. But at that point, he was thrown into the deep end. He didn't drown. All right. Now you took swimming lessons. The off season, you take swimming lessons. Now you got to get in there, and I need you swimming laps. I don't care how much the current is. I don't care how big and deep the fucking pool is. You got to fucking swim, because that's the expectation now. And I don't know. I think fans are a little impatient because they saw how good the potential we are, and it's just like every time that we show that greatness, there's like that little thing that fucking that holds us back. And sometimes,
Jacob,
yeah,
I know what you mean. I get you. I just, like, for me on Johnson, like, I want to see something from him that makes me think, okay, he's got something. He's got that potential where I think he can get better. For me personally, I don't think he's ever going to be a good player at Spurs based on what I've seen since he's played in the Premier League, including at Nottingham Forest. For me, I think he's too much of a nice guy. I think he's a lovely guy. I think you can see that, right? He's got the right attitude, but you just want him to get aggressive sometimes. Like, stop being this, like, kind of like a lightweight in a game. Like, just show us something. Like, show us some aggression. Like, when you're one-on-one against a man, right? You're not like, oh, I'm just gonna try and beat you. You want to actually go the fuck at him and fucking, like, you're trying to beat that guy because you want to fucking score a goal. You want to whip that ball in, like, that's the last thing you do. That's what I want to see. I want to see him really give it something. Like, I'll give you an example, right? Aaron Lennon. I know I've made this comparison.
I thought
go on.
I remember that comparison, but I was gonna say a moment, because you're talking about a moment that for him to show that, to do exactly what you're talking about. I thought he did in the equalizer, Kulusevski, I think it was, for City.
He did
that cross.
Right?
It was a moment in which he laid out for it. He
cross.
put it.
I agree, but I think the problem with Johnson is, I think, like, for me, the majority of the game, he doesn't do much, right? When you actually watch him, like when he came on for that 20 minutes against Brighton, like, he was awful. He was one of the worst players on the pitch.
I was very upset with him the entire time until he scored.
I was in the pub in Amsterdam Spurs pub, right? And everyone in the pub was like, oh my God, for fuck's sake, like, come on. Like, you can see some people, they really want him to do well. And of course, like, I want him to do well, but I've got to be realistic, right? I have to I don't want to use my Spurs sentimentality, because I don't look at it in that way. I look at what I want from my Spurs team, and I look at where I feel what we need to be a better team to actually achieve what I want to see Spurs achieve, right? I want to see them win a Premier League. I want to see them win big trophies, right? And I don't feel that Johnson is at that level, and I'm not sure if he ever will be at that level to really make an impact in the squad. Maybe as a bench player, what I've seen of him off the bench, he's definitely looked more like an impact player than someone when he starts, because when he starts, he doesn't look great. And then he ends up you always see him get hauled off, right? When he starts a match, at some point during the game, he's coming off the pitch. It happened all the time, right? I don't think I've ever seen Johnson complete in 90 minutes. Actually, I don't think he has. And that tells you, and also the fact that we're linked with other right wingers at the moment tells you everything you need to know about what the club and what the management feel. They feel that he's not ready to do that yet, and maybe they feel that he is someone they're going to work with long term to try and get him to understand what
Everton,
what they want from him.
He played a full 90 at Everton.
Oh, so at one game, okay. So he's played one full.
I'm trying, because I was like, I feel like there was, I felt like I talked about it at one point, being like, and Brennan Johnson won a full 90, because that was something that we hadn't seen up to that point. Right. And I'm just checking all the games around that, and yeah, so far it's either he's okay. He also did a full 90 versus Manchester United at Old Trafford at the 2-2 draw. So that's two. Yeah. 2 away matches. Wait, I think that was away. No.
So in a season where we haven't really had as much football as we would usually have if we're in a European competition, he's only completed 2 90 minutes. It's not, for a 22-year-old, that's not good. like that for fit. And I know he's had some fitness issues at the beginning of the season. So for me, like unless I see something different from him, my opinion is going to stay the same. I want to be proved wrong because obviously if I get proved wrong, then it means he's doing really well. Tottenham are doing really well, right? It's a win-win for me. I don't give a shit. So yeah, I just look at it and I think, yeah, he next season, okay, he's going to have a full preseason, right? So let's see how he does then next season. Let this be his like bedding in season. And if he still kind of does the same as he goes along the whole season, where he's not really showing anything, he's a very he's a moments player. Like he comes up in one moment and then the rest of the game he's just terrible. Like, or he hasn't really done enough. And that's my thing with him.
I see what you mean. I just think to wrap this up, because big up Ellie, I see a very generous donation real quick. I want to get to it. But just to wrap up the Brennan Johnson thing, something that and we all have different standards, right? When we say, what have you, like, show me something. And I mean, to Brennan Johnson, who the fuck am I for him to show something to, right? I'm Jacob in El Paso, Texas. So like,
you're a fan though. Like you want to see,
I agree.
What you want to see, right?
And there's been those flashes in the pan, I shall say, but it's not enough to say that, well, we're cooking with hot grease here, but enough to say that, maybe fucking Ainge can just get in there and like tweaks enough of him to where he can become that lethal player. That's what my hope is. But real quick, that's on Brennan Johnson. We are over an hour, so I want to say, please, this has been an hour of an absolute smash fest because Danny got here and I just felt like the conversation has not stopped flowing. So big up to that. And make sure you are hitting a like on the channel as well. That is free. But what is not free, Seven has gifted 7 memberships. So I want to say something to you personally, Seven.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
This shit absolutely means something to me, man.
I love your clips.
And then Ellie sent in 2 different financial contributions here. So flexing the membership for 3 months. Big up Ellie being a member for 3 months on the channel. Says, Danny, what 3 players would you want to see us buy? We will come to that. But first, let me read out the very generous $49.99 Ellie just donated. Said, Jacob, this is for your boy. Buy him something nice as he is such a great lad. And what a great dad you are, Jacob. So here's something from me on a day that I was too blessed to be stressed as my daughter came through her op and our children are our heart. Big up Ellie. I can't imagine hospital shit with your kids is never fun. So first of all, I sent you some hearts, but here's some more. Hopefully the animation will fucking work. Come on, baby. Don't let me down. Don't let me. Okay, this thing, is it my fingers? Is that what it is? Did I fuck up with my fingers? How do I? Ellie, I sent some hearts earlier. Boom, this will do it. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. That's for you, Ellie. We made it happen. Big up, Ellie. I appreciate your very, very gracious donation. And thank you. I will buy him something nice. I will do that. So thank you so much for that. But the question Ellie had for you, Danny, what 3 players would you want to see us buy in the summer? First 3 things you want to see happen. You could say positions if you don't necessarily have a profile picked out, but for me, I'll just rattle off. I need the drop off from Destiny to either Ben Davies or whoever the fuck. That is too drastic. You roll your ankle, you can break some shit falling off of that steep ledge. So we got to get somebody who's serviceable as a left back in the backup position, as well as this James Madison backup. Now, there was thoughts and flirtations, I shall say, sweet nothings I was whispering into the thoughts of maybe Kulu is our surprise James Madison backup. But then he kind of fell off, started getting fucking bodied in the midfield. And then it's like you moved him back out to the right and he does nothing. Kulusevski's a whole different basket of onions that I not read. So I need a James Madison backup, someone who can sufficiently come in and play that 10. Ideally, you'd want someone that can, like an Eze, an Abrici Eze, because he can play left wing. He can play that 10. You can he's malleable. That's what Ainge likes some players who are very flexible. He likes them yoga type players. Stretch it out for me, baby. Talk to me nicely. So that's what Ainge is looking for, and I love it. Absolutely. And then I would say that a top-notch player that fucking walks into this 11. That is the other play. I know it's a little bit out of bounds, But if we're talking about ideal like marquee signings, you've named Nico Williams. I would love that. Rafinha, I'm kind of over Rafinha. I know he's been this and that for Barcelona. I loved him at Leeds, and I haven't really liked him too much since. I'll put it that way. But for me, Rafa Leao is a player that is a complete forward.
He's amazing, but we'll never get him.
His release clause is 130.
No, it's not. It's like 175 million euros. It's
I thought it was 130 euros, which is only like 105.
It's 175 million euros. It's like insanity level of release clause. Like, and obviously he I don't think
Osimhen's is 130. Then someone's is 130. Someone who's
I don't
like
know who, but like I think those type of players
just take that Kane money and get it done, right?
They've spent that already, man. They've spent the Kane money already. But like, if I'm gonna be realistic, like who? Okay, I don't know if he's realistic, but I think Eze is a great shout because he's very versatile. He can play across that front three. We all know Ange likes players who can interchange, can play left, play center, play right, and it gives him a more of a selection headache. It also changes tactics during games in terms of the way you want to play. If you have like an Eze on the left and Maddison in the middle, or Eze on the right and a Son on the left or Son up top, whatever it is. I would like to see. I'd love to see Neto or Nico Williams. Now, in terms of I want to see a winger who can run at someone and take on his man one-on-one. Right?
Oh, Nico would do that. Ask Barcelona in the Copa del Rey what they think of Nico Williams. Motherfucker came on, goal, assist.
Yeah, honestly, from like, I love.
He's so good
in terms of players, Jacob. Right, when I saw Neto when he first came to Wolves, I was like, this guy, I want him at Spurs. Like, as soon as I saw him, you know when you see a player for the first time, or you see someone, you can tell they're just quality, right? You can tell they've just got ability. And he's kind of, apart from his really Lamela-esque type of injury list, that's my biggest problem with Neto, is that you're going to see him more on the injury table than you would see in him on the first team. So that's my biggest worry about signing someone like Neto, as much as I would love him at Spurs, right? But I think if you look at Nico Williams, I heard that his release clause was like now 43 million euros. So 50 million euros, which is like 43 million pounds. If that is,
I thought
true,
it was like 65 and 50.
Apparently,
but that's fucking that's even avocado on your burrito at this point. If you're spending 50, what's 60?
Yeah, I tell you what, that if I was going to pick any one of them three, it'd probably be Nico Williams, just for the fact that he is so rapid and so good at dribbling, and he's so good at taking on his man. He can play on both feet, can play across the front three. Well, mainly he's a winger, left or right winger, but he can play both positions just as good. And the fact that he's young still as well, and he doesn't have a big injury problem, I think he ticks all the boxes. And if Tottenham go and sign someone like that, for me, that is a statement. So he would be the number one for me. I agree. I think we need a left back. Whether or not that will be, I don't want him, but whether or not that is Reguilon or not, if it means Reguilon out of Sessegnon or Davis, I know, Jacob. I'm the same. I don't want Reguilon.
I heard y'all talking about who was it on Sean's show fucking twerking for Reguilon?
Johnny twerks for
I
Reguilon.
love Johnny. He's been on this channel. He's been on this channel before, and I wish I knew he had this fucking sweet caramel spot for Reguilon.
He loves
bro.
Reguilon.
I was listening to this and I was like, I'm about to type like, what is this insane twerking for Reguilon? Bro, he had 45 minutes versus West Ham in the preseason, and Ainge said, no, fuck off.
Yeah, I know.
You were not good. Like, 45 minutes was all he needed to make his decision on that guy.
And what I've seen of Ange, I think he knows, he judges players very well. Like his ability to see if that player can do what he wants them to do. I think he can see that from the moment he sees them. And I'll tell you something. We'll go into Richarlison after, but in terms of the other two players, I'd like to see someone like Nuri from Wolves, or like a Robinson from Fulham as a left back option. I'd love. It's never going to happen, but I'd love to see if Spurs did something like that. And then another player I think we need, it'd either be a striker. I don't know who. I mean, actually, if I could pick one, it'd probably be Ivan Toney, but that's not going to happen. He's going to go to Arsenal. Or
Ainge
I'd
wouldn't
like
want
to
an
see-
Ivan Toney, would he?
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. But I would like to see him. I think he's a very good striker.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
my-
I've watched him since the promotion season with Brentford was when I first saw him. I was like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? Because we were talking about we need a Harry Kane backup.
You
So
know-
I was scouting everywhere for a Harry Kane backup, and I was like, this Ivan Toney guy, he's probably about to get promoted. I think he is like Harry Kane if Harry Kane just had a little bit more pace.
do you know who would be good? Right, there's two. So for another striker, I'll tell you in a second. But the midfielder I would love, I don't think again is going to happen. Is Paulinho at Fulham? I think he is a boss in the midfield when he's playing well and he's not injured. He is unbelievable player. I think he's a destroyer that we need. We need a destroyer in the midfield. Whether or not Basuma can kind of live up to his first 10 games, we have to wait and see. But the other player I think would suit the system very well and is also quite versatile, Ollie Watkins. And I know that's not realistic, but I think someone like Ollie Watkins would actually do a job in this team because he's very quick. He's a good finisher. He can finish on both feet, and he suits the way Spurs want to play football. I think Ollie Watkins would be a really good player.
You know, like 2 years ago, when Michael and I were just doing Spotify episodes of before we were on YouTube, I was watching Ollie Watkins again under the realm of we're looking for a backup for Harry Kane, a guy who can supplement Kane so he doesn't have to play a full 90 and it's not too far of a drop off. And I remember watching Ollie Watkins. I think it was his second year in the Premier League at this point, and I was like, wow, he looks so much better than his first year. If he can continue to progress, this is a young, bright kid for England. He could be for us. And then it almost seemed like there was a year there where that progression stalled, and then now it's skyrocketed.
Yeah.
And you know what? Hey, I would not be upset with an Ollie Watkins either. I think that he's a very good little bit of
how old is Ollie Watkins? How old is he? Is he old?
5? I'm gonna guess 25.
I don't know how old Ollie Watkins is actually. How old is Ollie Watkins?
I mean,
he's 28 years old. That's quite old, actually.
He's
I didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah, so I guess he was about 24, 25 when I was first watching him.
Yeah, so maybe not Ollie Watkins, but he's a good player. I think he suits the way we play football.
So 28's old. That's what we're saying, Danny. I'm 33.
Yeah, I'm 31, going on 32.
I'm feeling pretty old too. So.
Yeah,
we got Bob Down Under for the super chat. Says Ange Ball, we must have cover for Udogie and Porro. I know a name you and I have thrown out there that he's been linked with Manchester United as of yesterday. Of course, when you score a fucking banger against Bayern Munich to help solidify the fact that Bayern Munich may not win the Bundesliga. Bro, how long have you and I been talking about Frimpong?
We've been saying Frimpong.
I feel like one of the first episodes, you and I were like, oh, Jeremy Frimpong. You and I feel like we both always land on a lot of the same players when we're doing our...
it's just true, right? But you were still the first. I always will say this: no one mentioned Van der Ven. You were the first one to mention Van der Ven. You explain exactly why, and when we signed him, you were one of the happiest people because you knew how good he was going to be. You said it. You said it from day dot, right? No one else.
I didn't know he was going to be this good. I'm going to tell you how good.
Like,
I didn't think he was going to come. I thought maybe in 2 years he could be this good. How good he came in! Fucking 3 days of training. 3 days of training, and he came in and was like, "Oh, who the fuck is this guy? This tall bastard with the short shorts." But he's so much better than I dreamed of. But I need a left-footed center back. It was even for the Conte system. I said, "Bro, this left-footed center back for Wolfsburg. He's tall. He's still growing. I didn't think he'd be this good." But speaking of this good, something so good is Ellie with another super chat. Says, "I twerk for Højbjerg. So I'm paying to twerk, and $9.99 is my max twerk, Jacob." Ellie, go ahead and shake that stuff. Make sure everybody's talking to you nicely. At least at United Spurs of America, they're going to be forced to because you've been blessing the channel, you've been sponsoring this show, and I do appreciate that. So real quick, first and foremost, big up Ellie. You can shake that thing, and I have a little clip for you.
Frimpong would be a great shout.
Anyone? Oh, my bro, Frimpong.
Could you imagine him and Porro as our right wing backs? That'd be insane. That'd be insane.
If we have European football, we're gonna need fucking numbers.
We will. But now, if they go and win the league, he's on the radar of every top club in Europe now.
Bro, he's been. I feel like
Yeah, I know, yeah.
has it. It's like Moussa Diaby. How did no one hear about Moussa Diaby?
Do you know who?
And then all of a sudden he just goes for 50.
Jacob? I could see him being the Kyle Walker replacement at Man City long term.
Frimpong? Yeah. He played at City's Academy once upon a time.
He did.
I
wouldn't surprise me
was there, I think it was.
It wouldn't surprise me in the summer they go and buy another right wing. Well, I know they got Rico Lewis, but he is good as well. It depends on whether they want someone who's the next level or a lot higher level than where he is at his stage of career. Especially that Frimpong's still very young.
Yeah, I think Frimpong's a hell of a talent. But Ellie, while I have you here, anytime anyone says anything about your name being Queen Ellie Højbjerg, this is what you tell them.
Stop playing with my fucking name. I'll drill y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
There you go, Ellie. All right. Next time they say who's Queen Ellie Højbjerg, say quit playing on my fucking name. All right.
I do think Højbjerg is gone in the summer. I think that's
he's so gone. He's he's gone. Well, you know what?
So it means we're going to have to buy another midfielder, but I don't know who they're going to go. Are they going to go for Gallagher? Are they really going to go for him? I don't know.
There's a few reasons why I don't want to go for Gallagher, although I think he's an upgrade on Højbjerg and Skip. But we are fucking. They are in a fire sale. They're like, we need to pay rent. I'm selling all my shit, and we hate them, and we're gonna go help them pay their rent. Is what I'm under. I don't like that. So in that sense, I'm cool with steering clear of that fucking thing to help them further into the mud, or at least not be their lifeline out of the fucking mud. That's what I would say.
I know what you mean, but I think that if Tottenham want him, they will definitely go for him, and I don't think they'll think too much about whether or not it's helping Chelsea out, because they'll just see it as them improving. I do think he is an upgrade on Højbjerg and Skip, and he's English, so he does fit the quota. It depends. If they go and sell Højbjerg, there's 100% they're not gonna sell him and not bring someone else in. So I'm intrigued to see what they do in the summer, because if we do get top four and we get into Champions League spots, then they need to bring in some more English players to fill that English quota as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. Yeah,
it is absolutely going to be interesting. Speaking of interesting, Dietrich Kane is here with a Canadian $5 dono. Says, my bitch is back. Big up, you beautiful people. I would love coop miners. Clause 50 million. Frimpong clause 40. Bro, Frimpong's clause is 40 mil. We should have done that yesterday. Activate that motherfucker yesterday. Neto Manu Kone for Gladbach, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
He's a good player as well. I think he could be someone we could go for. But again, I don't know whether they're going to try and go for someone English, because if they go and buy like a winger who's foreign, unless it's like an Eze, then I don't know. It's going to be so interesting to see what we do. And Chiesa, as much as Dietrich Kane likes him, and I like him too, he's way too injury prone. I do not want him anywhere near our club because of that reason. He'd definitely be the best winger out of the bunch, but in terms of a quality, like, he's a phenomenal player, but he spends more time on the bench than he does playing. So I don't want another Eric Lamela type player there at Spurs.
And then the last one here from Dietrich was Thuram at striker. Didn't Thuram go to PSG? There's two of them though. There's two different Thurams, isn't there?
The one Thuram. He went to Inter Milan, I think. That Inter Milan. The one that he was the one that played at Gladbach, who we tried to go for. Do you remember that one window? I can't remember where it was when we tried to go for him. And then last summer, he signed for Inter Milan.
Yeah, this past summer he signed for some. I thought it was PSG, but you're probably right. It is.
I think it was Inter Milan.
Someone like that. Marcus Thuram, the striker. Yeah. Anyway, big up Ellie. Sending another one, says, here's that $9.99 payment. Twerk. And I think this is in regards to this comment that she left up here. Says, Van de Veen is the boss. Well scouted, Jacob. Here's another $9.99, man. You are a G, and you twerked for Van de Veen. I will tell you every single time, this is how I feel about Mickey Van de Veen.
Oh, I won't let you go.
And that's for you too, Ellie. I won't let you go. Thank you so much for your financial contributions tonight. Your support, your unwavering support. Very much appreciated. Big up for that. And again, sending all the love to your offspring, because I know how tough that is for a parent to be in the middle of all that. So big up, Ellie, and big up to the Ellie family.
I hope your daughter's all right.
Oh, and a user coming in here with a treat for Chewy. Chewy, you get to eat tonight, my friend. Speaking of getting to eat tonight, did y'all reach the quota? Y'all know the rules here. If we haven't hit 100 likes, Chewy doesn't get dinner. So if you want Chewy to eat, we have to hit 100 likes.
Come on, guys.
See, these are two different ways. Danny, I was up here and I wore a Leeds shirt on one of my streams. I got gifted a Leeds away. I want to put Joe Roden on the back, and I want to get him to sign it because I love me some Joe Roden. So they and also Leeds is a team that I've kept up with. There was a Russell Crowe documentary that I was like, oh, I love me some Russell Crowe, and he's like, you're Leeds from what is the place called?
Russell Crowe was talking about Leeds Football Club.
He narrated a documentary on Amazon Prime.
Okay. Oh my God,
the one that chronicled them coming up into the Premier League.
Yeah.
They got bought by some Italian guy, and then they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do a like." It wasn't a all or nothing. It was like a Leeds
their own documentary.
Something like but it was. I watched it and I love me some Russell Crowe, and then I got to know about Ellen Road, and I was just like, you know, they're cool. They're in the championship. Like that's not. And I googled how many times has Leeds played, and before they were promoted, it was like we'd played them 19 times in the last 80 years. So it's like, is that a rivalry? No, but I wore it on stream. The point of the story is I wore it on stream because it was gifted to me, and I was like, hey, I'm going to wear the gift tonight. And everyone fucking ran me through the fucking dirt, Danny. Everyone was so upset. How could you? How dare you? What the fuck is this? And so there was like 100. There was like 100 people watching, and I was like, all right, if y'all get this up to 150 likes, no way we hit 150 likes, right? I was like, y'all get this to 150 likes, I'll fucking change right now. I will change. I will take that shirt. Stream. Yeah. And so we ended up hitting 150. And so I changed shirts on stream. Yeah.
I need to go
back. And so I'm like, maybe if either to get the likes up, I need to wear a Leeds shirt, or I need to dangle. Chewy's not going to eat if you don't get the likes up. So
come on, guys. Chewy needs dinner. Chewy needs dinner. So you need to smash that like. Come on.
Look at his belly. He's so starving. You can see his ribs. Those are actually his jelly rolls, but we're going to say those are his ribs. He's very well fed. But big up everybody who has hit a like and done the free thing. Real quick, 113 votes in the poll, so clearly we could get over 100 likes if y'all want to, support the channel in that manner. Predictions for Wolves versus tomorrow. 73% out of that 113 says Spurs going to win despite the setbacks. 10% shared amongst Wolves taking the entire campfire dinner and draw incoming. And 8% says a high-scoring battle, flip the coin. Look, Danny, I don't know if you voted in that poll, but what I'm going to say is my opening bit here for what we must do tomorrow, we must turn back the clocks of time. All right, so think roughly 2,000 years ago, Danny, 3,000 years ago, a wolf decides to saunter into a man's campfire, and I'm assuming they shared some kind of a meal. And in that moment, the bond was made between man and canine, thus leading to a fat sleeping dog in the middle of my room. So my thought here, Danny, we must turn back and rewrite history. And when that wolf comes sauntering into our campfire, we eat the motherfucker. We cut him and we eat him. All right. I had videos for the bumblebees when we played Brentford. I said we need to be on our Monsanto shit and make them bees go extinct. That. Yeah. And he grabs the fucking
I love that video. I think that video is brilliant.
I'm just saying we were getting our asses whooped the entire first 45. I said, Ange needs to play this video, and I think he did because we ended up winning that game. So big up to that guy eating those fucking wasps. But also, I'll play this for you real quick. This is my general vibe for Seagull. And so when this was coming up, people were like, do you have any kind of videos for the Wolves? And honestly, like I'm a dog lover, so I don't want to play a bad video of like a bad wolf being naughty, you know what I mean? So I
Oh, I've got to see this now.
no,
Your
I
video-
don't.
Jacob,
No.
you let
No.
me down. Oh, you need
No.
to get one for the next show. You need to.
I'm doing a watch along tomorrow, and normally I like to play those around, but like I love dogs too much. I actually don't want to physically harm. I don't want to flip off a wolf or an animal. Like wolves are actually dogs are man's best friend, and I'm very partial to I do.
There's gotta
I would
be-
say seagulls are the one animal that I actually like will punch. If I see one in the wild, I will punch it. I will crack that little fucker open. I will do that, but with dogs and other animals, I don't feel that kind of nastiness. But I do want to just say we must go back in time and we must rewrite history and fucking murder the wolves. All right.
I hope we do.
But Danny, that was a long intro of me trying to ask you, just how you think, if you had to vote in that poll, what would you pick? And while you think about that, got a super chat here from Dietrich Kane. A second one from Dietrich says, Danny did more shows for Jacob than his own channel.
It's because Jacob caught me at the right time. That's why. So
That's what I'm saying, bro.
it's very
They
lucky.
say life. They say life is
like-
about luck, timing, and opportunity.
It was like there's a subliminal message like in Jacob's mind, like Danny is free today, and it was like bang, and I was like, yep, Jacob, for you, I am free today, my friend. So
Hey,
that was
how
it.
blessed are we? Big up Dietrich for the super chat. It's funny, Danny, you showed up, and now Dietrich is super chatting for the first 2 times in the channel's history. I like to see that.
Dietrich is a little fucking bitch. That's why.
Big up Dietrich's Kane.
Big up
Bob
Dietrich.
Down Under with another super chat. Bob's always here super chatting, gifting memberships, being a member himself. Says, hoping to see sheep and wolves clothing. Very nice little jacket. Make a little fucking rug.
That's what I'm
you
saying.
know what?
Like, you have to have.
You know what? I'm going
can find
for the
something
watch
that's
long.
funny.
I'm gonna find something. I'm gonna find something
You'll
that's
find
not
something.
harmful, but it's funny. I'm gonna find something, Bob. Hopefully for the watch long, I'll have it
There's got to be
ready.
some kind of banter gif or something video out there that takes the piss. Because if we beat
Or like
Wolves,
Tom
then-
and Jerry ass cartoon is what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
I
like a
was
Tom
thinking
and
a cartoon, something like a cartoon.
Yeah,
What's that?
that's innocent
The wolf,
enough.
is it a wolf in Roadrunner? Is it Roadrunner or something? The wolf.
That's a coyote. It's Wiley
Coyote,
Coyote and the
yeah.
Roadrunner. But
Yeah.
there
must be
there's
something.
there's gonna be something. I'm gonna find something tonight for damn
Little
sure.
Red
Big
Riding
up Bob,
Hood.
appreciate that. But Danny, for you, if you had to answer that poll, predictions for
Yeah.
Wolves versus Tottenham tomorrow, how do you see?
I did answer it. I said high scoring battle, flip a coin. That's what I said, because I think with Udogie and Porro out, I think it's a big miss. Because we've only just had our first team pretty much come back, and as soon as the day we think, okay, the first 11 that we saw at the beginning of the season, Basuma, San, Madison, Sarr, Udogie, Porro, Van der Ven, Romero, Vicario, I thought we're going to finally see that team again, and maybe we might do something tomorrow that's going to surprise people. But it kind of like put a bit of a downer seeing not just one of them, but both of our fullbacks.
Both of them.
And the thing is, people have got to remember, right? They've been probably 2 of the best fullback pairings in the league this season. A lot of the pundits are also saying the same thing about Porro's got more assists than, is it more assists than Trent this season? I can't remember if he's got more assists than any wing back in the league, even wingers. So Porro's having an unbelievable season, especially offensively. And his passing ability in crossing, we're gonna fucking miss that tomorrow, big time. So someone like Madison and Kulu have to try.
I would say also offensively, he relieves a lot of pressure from Brendan Johnson or Kulusevski. Going forward, when you have Pedro Porro making that run in behind, you're definitely going to have to pay attention to that, and someone's got to pick that. So what that will, he opens that space up behind for our wing. So I think we are going to miss
Pedro on the other side. Because Udogie goes into
Udogie even
midfield.
on set pieces is on the right side. He covers. Have you noticed that in the last few matches? He's covering on the right side after a set piece.
He's just like everywhere, and we're going to miss that pace and kind of energy
Real quick,
tomorrow.
side note: did you celebrate when we re-signed, okay, so we got Destiny Udogie, right? We loaned him back. Big up Chang. He says this super chat's for my Facebook friend, Mr. Kiriaku. Big up Chang, my buddy. He helps me out with halftime. Big up Chang, appreciate that.
Big up Chang.
Did you celebrate when we re-signed Destiny Udogie to a 6-year extension? Would you say you celebrated Destiny Udogie Day?
Not celebrated. No, not the way that you celebrated Destiny Udogie Day, but
Udogie. Oh yes, Destiny Udogie Day. Hey, idiots, man.
That's how I celebrated. But go ahead.
That was so funny. But no, I think with Udogie, I was definitely happy because it kind of like you think that he's been. This is his second, like his actual signed. This is his first proper season, right? And the fact that he's already signed an extension that early on shows that he wants to be here long term. He believes in what we're doing, and the fact that we've got probably one of the best young left wing backs in Europe around at the moment, and the only way for him is up. And you can see he's still raw. Like you can see it, especially defensively. Like he's kind of had he's cost us in quite a few games recently. Especially was it the Everton game? Was it Everton game? He cost us twice, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Everton. Oh no, it wasn't Everton.
It was Brentford.
Brentford, sorry, yeah, Brentford. He cost us for both of the goals.
Both goals.
Yeah, so he's got that mistake.
And it was last match that Van de Ven gave away a penalty.
It was. He's done that twice, I think, this season.
But they're young, right?
But this is what I'm saying. They're young, they're learning, and Udogie is still an unbelievable player, and we're gonna miss him tomorrow.
Best left back in the league. Name me a better left back in the league.
There isn't one.
That's what I'm saying.
At the moment. No,
bro.
And I think
he's my man.
You know what, Jacob?
I love that guy so much.
Just by you saying that right now tells you how much we're going to miss Udogie tomorrow, because a lot of stuff goes through Udogie, right? He also can drive up the pitch a lot, and he creates a lot of space as well. So when you've got Pedro Neto, if he is playing tomorrow, they're going to target whoever's playing on the. Well, it depends on where Neto's playing, but they're going to definitely not play him against Emerson Royale. They'll play him against whoever's on the other side. So it depends. They're going to play him to target the worst of our fullbacks who's playing on that day. That's what I think they'll do. And that's where we're going to have a problem, I think. But
the thing is, even when we've had Pedro Porro, even when he started and looked well defensively, teams have attacked our right-hand side because of all the space we leave him behind naturally when we invert those fullbacks. So to me, Danny, regardless of Porro being there or not, those fucking spaces are getting attacked. I said on countless Manchester United streams, because I was going around on rival channels and we were previewing the Manchester, and I said, who's your most informed player? Put them on the left-hand side for you, and they will have tons of space to find opportunities. And what happened? Marcus Rashford, not even on form, gets a goal. Fucking stumbles into a goal. Højlund stumbles into a goal because there's just that room there, and Romero just rushed back, and you know, it is what it is in that sense. But literally from the first match to the last match, the spaces behind where our fullbacks should be, right, on a standard back four setup, that's where the teams can attack, and that's where they've been finding success, even through the counter attacks.
No, definitely. I think that's where our biggest problem is, and that's why I think Ange sees it as well. That's why when Johnson plays, Porro is a lot more exposed, because we know that Kulusevski, he tracks back more than anyone in the league. You can see, but I'm not just saying that statistically, right? And I don't really watch too many stats, but he does a lot of off the ball work, and he does help on that side of the pitch, and he also does help take the ball up the pitch as well. And I think that's what we lack from Johnson when he plays a Porro. So he's definitely more open. Udogie, what I like about him is he's so quick and so strong. Not many people can barge him off the ball, and that's what I like about him.
I love his strength. Winning the ball back when he has the possession.
But here's someone his age, to the way he makes players bounce off him is so good. And the only thing, if he gets strong, like what is he, 19? Is he? Big up Ash.
I think he just turned 20.
So he just turned.
I'll look
20,
it up
right?
while you talk, but I think he just turned 20.
Could you imagine, like, if he keeps improving with his strength?
He just turned 21 in November.
Right, so he's 21 years old. Like, could you imagine if he keeps, like, physically he's going to become more of a man's body, and he's going to get stronger and quicker. He's going to be even better. Like, he's going to get more smarter on the ball. He's going to learn more. So
I
as long as he
remember.
doesn't
So he's
Yeah,
why
go on.
I watched Serie A last year, as I paid attention to Udinese, because we just signed him and he was loaned back. I was like, cool, gives me an excuse to watch gives me an intent of why I need to watch a Serie A team, because didn't really have anyone else. And Ndombele with Napoli, he barely played, so I was like, in watching him, I remember telling Michael, I remember being like, bro, I think we've got a fucking beast on our hands. Going forward, he is so good. And I remember in like the first 4 matches, he had 3 goals, something like that. It was just like, he was massive compared to other people. And the way he powered through people with the ball, off the ball, I was just like, this kid's going to be fantastic. And not only that, the kid does not take a bad photo. I have yet to see one fucking photo of him where he looks bad. This man is absolutely class. I think, like, bro,
He's very photogenic.
he is
Yeah,
photogenic on and off the ball. He made Garnacho his bitch that day. He had
he did.
nachos for dinner. Bro, he
was
took
so
the dog
funny
for a
that day.
walk.
This is
And this
this
man,
is what
look, Garnacho the night before was on I Show Speed. I don't know if you know.
he was on.
if you
I
ever-
Show Speed. Are you serious?
He was
Oh
on.
my
He
God.
was on a stream with I Show Speed.
Yeah.
And I Show Speed said, "Hey, tomorrow when you score against Tottenham, will you hit the Suey? Will you hit the Suey and bark?" And he said, "For you, Speed, I'll do it when I score." And I remember my entire watch along, I was like, "Where the fuck are you now, Garnacho? Who's barking now?" When he got sat down by Destiny, I was like,
so funny.
"Who the fuck is barking now? Who's barking now?" Like, I would not let it go.
I
I'm
love it.
petty like that, but
No,
bro,
I
don't
am
ever
too.
say you're gonna score on us, hit the Suey, and then bark. Shut the fuck up.
Could you
Hoyland
imagine if he
scored.
did that? Could you imagine if he did that? But I'm so glad. Yeah, Destiny, man, we're gonna miss him tomorrow, because you can see there's a massive drop off in the way we play when Destiny is not there. And I think tomorrow we're lucky we are lucky we've got Van der Ven and Romero fit, which is good. But I still think the big problems there's gonna be more problems on the wings tomorrow than there are usually with Udogie and Porro being there.
Yeah. But that's my hope and why I want to see this back for, because I think for me, a name that I have seldom seen and felt happy feelings is Ben Davies. Eric Dyer, Ben Davies, I always put them 2 peas in the same fucking pot as far as the examples as why we are failing and the business aspect of business.
Yeah.
Or the business aspect of the footballing. That makes more sense if I say it that way, because to me, the fact that they've been here for 10 years, and I know people want to go on and say, oh, he's the response to Eric Dyer leaving and people being like, he's a servant. Bro, if I served at Denny's for 10 years, does that show? And I'm not even a good waiter. I'm just, here's your food, motherfucker, you know?
And you know what, Jacob? Like, people with Eric Dyer, they forget this guy was willing to sit on the bench for a season to run down his contract so he can leave for free rather than going to another club in the summer and trying to get another club. He was like, he was a piece.
He knew he wasn't getting 85 a week from anybody. He said, no, I'll get that at Tottenham.
He's fucking lucky. His agent must have sucked off like the Bayern Munich board or something to get
the
that
part
move.
that
How
made
the
me most mad about him is like, if you're a servant to the club, you know what you don't do is go into the public face and say and laugh at the fact that the club you play for is unsuccessful. When he did that, that's when I said, you know what? Like, I could put up with like Lucas Moura, I could put up with the level of ineptitude that he had because he would fucking die for the badge. And so there was a certain level of like, I can put up with your shitty performances if I know you're Tottenham through and through. And I felt like in that moment that showed me his true colors, because it's all nice when you have a quote saying, I want my ashes spread at the stadium. It's all nice, right? But whenever you go onto a platform, and Harry Kane and Matt Doherty were there, and I'm glad that these fucking things have been rooted out, because there was these clicks, and you've seen the quotes coming out. There's no more clicks. There's no more. Everyone's together, and we've built this togetherness. So I don't like to delve and like be like, oh, you know, Eric Dyer this, Eric Dyer that, but Ben Davies for me is still an epitomization of a major problem we've had for years and years that I've been upset with Tottenham for. Now, that's not to say Ben Davies, when this season he's been called upon, that he's been absolute dog water. He hasn't been fucking golden statue-esque Ben Davies, but he's been okay. He's been all right. So to me, I still think the further we can get away from that guy being in a starting 11, the better off we will be. So I am down to go with the back four of Van de Ven as our left back, Dragusin and Romero as our center backs, and then Emerson Royale at the right back. I think that's damage limitation.
I don't mind where the what lineup it is, but I want those back four playing tomorrow. That's what I want to see. It doesn't matter if Dragusin's a right back or Emerson's a left back. I want to see those four players playing. And I don't know if the only thing I can think of why he would play Van de Ven as a left back is purely for the fact that we need someone who's pacey on the wing. And then if he does do that, then I'm sure we'll probably see Emerson or Dragusin as a centre back. I don't think Davis will play as a centre back tomorrow. I think we will see one of them.
But see, that's the part that I don't like. I don't like Ben Davies going forward personally. I don't like him in the build-up play, the attack. I don't like him being that when we do those little passing triangles on the left and the right-hand side. I don't want to see him being a fucking crucial corner of that triangle. And it's weird because when I look at Ben Davies as far as a left back or a left-sided center back, I don't really want him in either position because I see if you move Mickey to the left back, now you're losing out on a key aspect of what Mickey does for this defense is be that last lying man. Because even Romero's going to push up and get stuck in and challenge. And then it's up to fucking Van de Ven to cover that space behind him and his own space. And he has the pace to do that. Now, if you move him to the left back, he's going to be further out wide, pushed further up the pitch than he would be as that last lying center back. So there's the fear for me there if we do move him to left back that we're going to lose out on one of the things that makes him so crucial to this setup is with that high line, you have to have someone with that pace who can fucking get back and cover both areas. Theirs and their partners, and he does it so well and so clean. Oh, motherfucker moves like an Outcast song, so fresh. And so, why is every tackle the most clean? Like, bro, if you had to fucking video clip clean tackles 101, it's just Mickey Van de Ven's like gently. I take the ball from you ever so gently. Oh, take the ball.
I think that's what I like about him, right? Is the fact that he makes it look effortless when he defends, and people forget that he's not just a pace merchant, which maybe some fans might. A lot of fans probably thought that when we were getting him, that we've got someone who's good at the ball at the feet, but who's rapid, right? But he's a whole lot more than that. He's got football intelligence. His passing ability is good. He's still young, so you can still see there's certain elements to his game where he makes mistakes. Like sometimes in the box, a few times against Chelsea, he was rash in the box. Against the other week for the penalty, he was rash again, and he just it's like he just in that final second. Sometimes you see him make a mistake, but I think he'll learn from that, and I think he'll become more mature. And I think you can see I think from a young man, the beginning of the season, like it's been crazy. It's been crazy.
3 mistakes total in a season for a guy. Remember, before he was at Wolfsburg, he was playing fucking nowhere. He was playing in a fucking where you and I could sign up and play.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Compare it to like Eric Dyer, who was making nearly a mistake every game or something like this. Like it'd be game after game. Yeah, you know it's Eric Dyer making a mistake or something like this.
And that's the thing is, but Eric Dyer, it was like we knew what that ceiling was. Whereas whenever you see Destiny or Mickey Van de Ven, these young kids make the mistake. To me, that's just part of the growing pains, and I expect that to be cleaned up. Now, I do want to talk to you a little bit about Romero. This is supposed to be a preview show. There's over 115 people here, so make sure you are hitting the like, subscribe, etc. That's absolutely free to do, and make sure you are subscribed to Tottenham on Tour. I am going to be putting that in the description. Now, real quick, do you have anything coming up on Tottenham on Tour?
If I'm honest, Jacob, I don't know because I've been so far away from streaming or YouTube for a long time this season anyway. So that for you to get me on to go on Sean's show today, it's like one of those like potluck moments where I was actually available or free. Usually I'm just so busy with just life basically. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest.
So my back four that I'm throwing, I'm saying still, even with losing that aspect of Mickey Van de Ven, I'm saying I want him at left back because I feel like that absolves needing Ben Davies to fill in either position. And then that way we also don't throw Dragusin into a role, because playing right back is a little bit different than playing an inverted right back. So while he has experience in playing a right back, and people say, "Oh, well, Dragusin could play on the right," can he play on the right as an inverted fullback? Because to my knowledge and my amateur research, every time he played right back, it was in a standard back four setup where he's not inverting and he's not pushing too far up the pitch.
I'd be surprised if I see him as the right back tomorrow. I think if you're going to see him, he will play as a centre back. Whether that's right or left, I don't know. He might play Romero as the left side next to Van der Ven because they've already got that kind of partnership, and then he might play like Dragusin as the right centre back, and then Emerson next to him. Who knows? But yeah, they're the four I think we probably have to go with. So yeah, Chewy's up to something now.
Did you hear that?
I did. Yeah. Chewy's predicting. That's why he's predicting the scoreline tomorrow.
Yeah, he might. It's gonna be a. Oh man. Now, I just saw this comment here from Dietrich's. If Ainge plays Davies and Emerson, I will call him out. Now, if both of them play, is this an indictment of Ainge Postecoglou and his selection? Because our habits would suggest us to believe, Danny, that he's going to go with what is most trusty, most serviceable, not necessarily the out of left field type of decision. Like I'm saying, move Van de Ven into a completely different role. I think.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what I think we'll probably see tomorrow? Is you'll probably see like the usual is probably Emerson right back, Romero, Van der Ven, and left back Davis, because they're the ones who've got the most experience playing in those positions. They maybe might understand how to play the positions better than, say, Dragusin could in those positions. But then again, it would also be a bit of a, for me, it'd be a bit like, I know why we signed Dragusin, but I kind of want to see him given a chance, like to see what he's capable of, because I think every Spurs fan wants to see what he's capable of, because what we've seen of him so far, I think fans have liked in the glimpse that we've seen of him. I've liked him so far. I think he's quick, he's strong, he's good in the air. But is he going to throw him straight in the deep end, or is Ange going to do something completely out the blue and go with a back three, which I don't think will happen, but you never know.
I think he put that to bed. Now, if he does exactly the opposite of what he claimed in his pre-match quotes, because before you joined the show, I pulled up one of his quotes talking about the impact of Destiny and Pedro being gone. And the first thing he says, and I'll share this tab here. The first thing he says, it doesn't change the way we play. Yeah, that's the first thing he says. Goes on to say, like, obviously they have their unique ability. And then the very next sentence is, the structure won't change and the way we set up won't change. So back three is that's not happening unless he's just doing this like, I'll never do that.
Games.
And then that's the only way. But every time he said something pre-match, it's always been factually true further down the line. So to me, this is a clear indication that there's not going to be a back three. It's going to be maybe in-game management. He might switch it up and go back to kind of what we saw. What was it, versus United, or after that when we did kind of go back to a back three because of injury? I think it was Destiny got hurt, and so we kind of had to.
So. Yeah, and then he made and then they all came on. They were all playing together, weren't they?
Yeah.
That was the first game. That was the first game Van der Ven and Romero had both been back at the same time. And Romero made the mistake for the first goal. He looked rusty, I remember. And then I think right at the end is when Dragusin made his debut, didn't he? He came on towards the end to try and like make sure we didn't concede any more goals.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably see like Emerson, Romero, Van der Ven, and Davis at left back. I think that's what will probably happen.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Now, for your midfield, I want to run through this quickly because we are almost on 2 hours, and I'm sure you're fucking tired because it's getting late for you. Midfield, I'm saying
it, though,
go.
so don't worry.
Oh man, what a blessing! I appreciate you being here for every single time, man.
Pleasure. Thank
like
you for inviting
I
me.
say that as a content creator, but then also like as a human being who enjoys your company. And
I appreciate
so
it.
thank
I
you very
always
much.
love speaking with you. But we speak as well off air. But when I do have the chance, I will definitely always come on.
I appreciate that. Midfield, talk to me. I think I'm going with what was our strongest midfield: Basuma, little brother Papa Matasar, James Madison.
Same. That's what I want to see tomorrow. I think Bentancur in the when he came back from his injury the first time before he got injured again from Villa, like he was like the best player in the park in that Villa game. I remember I was there, and he was unbelievable. Villa couldn't handle him. They take him out of the game. He gets injured for 2 months. He comes back. He does well for like 1 or 2 games. And then his form's just gone like that. And he's gone. Last game, he was not good, in my opinion. He was making mistake after mistake. He caused the error that caused the Van de Ven to make that rash challenge in the box. He lost the ball in a dangerous position. They did a little ticky-tacky in the box, and Van de Ven took his man out, took Welbeck out, or whoever it was. And then they got the penalty. And he lost the ball quite a lot. It's not the Bentancur we're all used to seeing, who's really confident on the ball. No one can get the ball off him. He moves the ball swiftly. And I know we both love Bentancur. You're on mute, Jacob.
I'm muted. Yeah, sorry. We do love some Bentancur. We definitely love that. But also, like, he's shown moments of what we love about him. But it's like that entirety where it's like a bad touch leads to giving it away. When he gets under pressure and teams are, there was a moment there where I think it was Brighton or Brentford, one of them, or Everton. Someone was coming out and they're fucking pressing us. And it was like the first half they're pressing us. And he just looked like not press resistant. You know what I mean? It seemed
like Bentancur.
Not like Bentancur as we know him. So I like the fact we have a good problem right now, which is who do you start? Rodrigo or Eves, who's going to grab the apple first I like it. I think that it's going to breed some kind of competition, but I'm starting Basuma because I think that he made us tick, man. He was that real link up, whereas Madison the last couple of weeks has kind of played that role where he's linking the fucking back to the front.
I think what I liked about when Basuma was that number 6, the continuity between the 3 of them and the coherence and the flow, it was like it was seamless. Like they all knew what their jobs were. Like if Madison was forward, the rest dropped back. If Basuma's forward, Madison and Sarr drop back, or one of them stays a bit forward to help, and then the other one drops back. So they're always interchanging and covering. So it's not, even though Madison's like usually the furthest forward, I remember in some of the games he was the one being the deepest player and trying to spray the ball from deep, right, and trying to link up the play from deep. And Basuma was getting forward. So I think what Basuma and Sarr together allowed Madison to do, allowed him to have more of that free roll to really dictate the game. And that's why you saw how crucial Madison was when we were in that period. He was just, they looked so good together. They looked like, Basuma looked like the best midfielder in the league at the time on form.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And
it was like the first 8 matches. I was like, we might have the best midfielder in the world right now.
Yeah, the way he was playing, at that time he was definitely by far the best midfielder in the league at the time, right? And then obviously he had these issues. He got the red card. He had injury. He went to the AFCON, and I think since that Luton game where he got that card, he just hasn't been the same player.
Yeah. But also, what hasn't happened, Danny? The league hasn't booked a fucking simulation since.
Yeah, that's true. But and also since I don't think we've had all 3 of them play together as well. Since that moment, I don't think all 3 of them have played together because Madison, and Sarr's obviously was at AFCON as well. So I really want to see them.
Well, he was the first one that went missing, and that was Sarr got a hamstring. It was. Yeah. And then it was like Basuma then fell off, and everyone was like, well, when Sarr comes back, Basuma will look right again. and he didn't.
Do you know what, Jacob? I think they all,
He got
when
a
they
red
play
card.
together, they all make each other play better. Like they just raise their levels. It's like it's like they all complement each other with their skill set and what they can do. And because of that, there's like this really, it just looks like it flows really well. And I really want to see it tomorrow. Like I can understand if he goes with Bentancur, but I would like to see Bentancur come off the bench tomorrow, and I want to see them three in the midfield tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, look, I think we've shaped it out. Now your front three, you saying Son, Richie, Kulu?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's. I mean, if it was up to me, I would probably go with I would like to see what Son is capable of doing again as a striker. But the problem is, and like I was saying on Sean's show earlier, it's very hard to take a striker who's in a good form and he's got a lot of confidence in this moment. The one thing you don't do to a striker, regardless of if you think the player is not the best, right?
Bench him in form.
Yeah, you don't want to do that because that's going to rip his confidence out. And Richarlison, what we've seen, I know he had the injury issue and he started playing better since he had that hip injury or surgery. Since he's come back, you've seen him get slowly, gradually better and better with his hold-up play, his touch, his finishing. He's been obviously scoring. He's been on form. His pressing. He's getting better and better at it. And as much as I still think he hinders us in some certain ways, I think until he stops, he goes on a non-scoring run of like 3 or 4 games. I don't think Richarlison's going to come out of that team. And if there is a period where we go 3 or 4 games and he's still not scoring, then I think we're going to see that switch again.
I don't even think 4. I think he didn't score last match.
3. So maybe 3.
I think if he doesn't score versus Wolves in the next match, he's done. I think he's benched up because in the beginning of the season, he didn't do shit the first 3 matches. Son could have had 5 assists in 3 matches.
Yes, I remember.
And this is the thing is we're creating these chances, these touches in the box. There's a reason we have the most touches in the opposition box because we work it in there. We just need to be lethal in the final third.
We got also, is it the 2nd or 3rd most goals scored in the Premier League, right?
Say that again?
I think it's the 2nd or 3rd most goals scored from a team in the Premier League, Tottenham.
I think we're tied for 4th last I saw.
Is it 4th?
We've scored 51, and the people who've scored more than that is City with 56, 55 for Liverpool, 53 for Arsenal. We're tied with Newcastle at 51. So tied for 4th with Newcastle.
But considering we've had Sonny out for quite a big portion of that, we've had issues of injuries. Young squad, Ange's first season. It's and also Richie, obviously he was also injured at one point as well. So it's to get those kind of numbers. Just imagine, it's like we were saying earlier. Imagine if you had a Harry Kane in that team. Imagine if you had someone who's a lot more composed in front of goal. I honestly believe if Son was in those positions where Richie has been in the last 9 or 10 games, he's scoring more than what Richie's provided. As much as Richie's been doing well, and I want him to keep doing well, I'm just going to say it as it is.
Yeah, I agree with you. I during the watch along last week was saying the same thing. Like at halftime, it's like, man, if that's Son, again, the question of it was always for me in the box.
Yeah,
who gets the touches on our squad? Take your fucking pick. Who's finishing from all angles in, out, and around the box? It's Son.
You want him in that position. Like you said, there's been some moments where you're like, yeah, that you've got to be putting that in the back of the net. Like these are the type of chances that can make the difference in a season.
Unknown here saying Son's not going to link up the play. Now, a lot of people have been talking about the Richarlison's link up play. I don't think that that's a problem necessarily.
No, I honestly think now you have to. How many games have we played now, Jacob, this season? Is it so far? Is it something like 18 games or something like that, or 7? Was it?
How many has Richarlison played in?
How many have we played in the season so far?
Oh, we've played 24?
24 games, right? So
in the Premier League, and then 3 cups. So
if you look at the first 10 games and then the second 10 games, right? for me, the best football period we had was the first 10 games. That was where we were playing our best football, right? And even then, it still wasn't the best, right? But I think we had our best games around that period, barring the Newcastle game, right? Where it was just the best football I've seen all season.
That and Burnley. Oh, we looked so good those
Burnley
two
as
matches.
well, yeah. But Burnley as well wasn't that in the first 10 games? I can't remember. But
I think so.
yeah, so
that was right when we moved Son to the middle and he got a hat trick.
that's right. So it was. Yeah, that's right. And so when you look at those 10 games and you look at the fluidity of the football and the way we played, it was much more football and like it was much more of a footballing team, like in coherence with each other, right? It's like they knew more about where each other was. There was much more flowing. The way the football was being played was so much more entertaining. If you look at the last 10 to 14 games, I personally think we haven't played that well. Like we've had moments in matches where we played well, but a lot of the games it's been quite bad performances. Like we've missed sitters. We haven't looked like the flowing kind of Tottenham we want to see. And a lot of it's down to a lot of players have come in and come out because of injury. So you're playing Højbjerg and Skip in the midfield. And some games have been absolutely dominated in the midfield. So, yeah, I just think that when Son does play up top and Maddison's behind him, there's much more of a telepathy between the two, right? They just know like how they play with each other. And I know Son maybe is not the best at holding the ball up, but I think we play a different way when Son is there. And that's...
What do you think of the notion that we don't break down low blocks well enough with Sonny through the middle? Because to me, it was never a matter of Sonny being the ineffective one. What happens in those instances, what I've seen, and this is just my amateur fucking tactico here. All right, so you have your two center backs and then that deep lying six for the opposition when you sit in that low block. Now, when they are comfortable in the low block, they sit 5 in the box. So what that gives you is 3 defenders here in the middle, and then Sonny's exploring this option with those 3. Yeah. But the 5 that they're sitting in the box, there's 3 on top of the box. So Son is in between there. Yeah. And what they're doing is applying more attention because it's Son. If it's Richarlison, you say one center back press up against him. The others will be able to take care of the space. But what happens when it's Son, it's you take care of this side of him, you take care of this side of him, and that third man, you are the one pushing him. So it's like the people want to say, oh, it's a double. They're double team. It's not even double, bro. They're 1 + 2 zonal markings when it's Son through the middle in a low when we're facing a low block. So when people say that we can't break down a low block, I think that's at the fault of the wingers, because then it is them and that next level behind it who have to make those incisive runs, because Son is pulling that attention centrally by being just fucking being there. So when he pulls that attention there, what that does is leave space on both fucking channels, and it is because our wingers have been ineffective versus low blocks, and we're not decisive enough in the final third versus low blocks, why we have been unsuccessful at breaking them down at times. That's my theory.
No, Jacob, I completely agree with that. There's a bit of reminiscence when we came to like the way we used to play with Poch, right? When we used to play a Poch against those teams with low blocks, we used to at certain times we used to like try and play through the middle all the time. So our play was very narrow, and then the wingers weren't being utilized, and that was the big problem. And I think when we play against those low block teams, we really need to try and utilize the wing space more, because that's where a lot of the space is. But it's like they just all kind of go like this, and they all kind of all start going inside and trying to play in that central zone where there's too many players, and you just can't break it down unless you somehow score like a free kick or a wonder goal from outside the box. You're not breaking it down.
We just do that fucking horseshoe. We're just horseshoeing it back and forth.
That's exactly
and like the numbers look great, and you have Christian Romero with 120 touches because we're just unable to make that. To me, it's we need final incisive runs and incisive passes, and also let's remember we are missing Maddison for a lot of that as well.
Yeah, that's true, and I think he makes a massive difference. But also, what I want to see more against those teams, I saw it. Liverpool did it against. I can't remember who it was, not long ago or recently, where there's some moments in the game, quite a few times. What they were doing was from the wing position, just outside the box, right? They were just chipping the ball into the box. They were just whipping it in or chipping it in, like and it was causing so many problems. And I think they scored one of the goals from that type of move. And I'm thinking, I want to see Tottenham do that when they're in that time, when they're in that position where they can't break the team down. Just get the ball in the box, just get it in the air, and let someone try to get on the end of it, and put bodies in the box, and then see if they can do it. That's what I would like to see, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, speaking of loving to see, liking to see, this is not yet the end of the show because, of course, this is a prediction. So we must do this now. Chat. There's been over 100 of you for basically the entirety of this show. Now we've gone up, we've gone down, but we've been rocking and sailing at about 100 motherfucking beautiful sons of bitches in this chat. All you sexy thick fucks. All right. I just want to shout you out first and foremost. Yeah. But this is the time for score predictions and goal scores. So if you're regular, you know the rules. Get your score predictions in now. Who the fuck is scoring the goals and what are we seeing here? I'm going to ask my guest. And while he tells me who, how, why, when, and just how we are applying ourselves, while he gives us his opinion, I want y'all to get your chat in. I will go through everyone's chat and then I will give you mine and we'll say goodnight. So, Danny, tomorrow, these fucking Wolves, we know they're going to sit back. They're going to look to counter us. We know this. And they can counter us with great speed with Pedro Neto, that motherfucker. Huang Hee-Chan, he got pace. He got power. He's a motherfucking bull up front. We're going to be presented with some problems. Just because Mateus Cooney ain't there don't mean shit, in my opinion. We got to be stiff and strong. And I think Basuma in the midfield will help that. But how do you see this shaking out and who's scoring our goals tomorrow?
I think if we go with the midfield of the Basuma, Sarr, and Madison in the midfield, I think we can edge the game 2-1. But I do think it's going to be a very close game. I don't think it's going to be like a high-scoring game. I'd be surprised if it is, because Wolves do like to sit back, and the way we played recently doesn't give me the indication that we're going to like go and have like some really high-scoring game. If we do, amazing, and we go and win. But I do think the wing-back issues is going to be our biggest problem. So I'm going to still go 2-1 because we're at home, but there is part of me that thinks we're going to draw this because Wolves are not an easy team. Like Sean was saying, whenever
they beat us, they beat City.
The 2 times they played in London this season, they beat Chelsea. They spanked Chelsea like a bitch.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Was it 4-0 or something like that?
4-2, I think it was. And then they beat Brentford, I think. Was it 4-1? Or either way, vice versa, whichever one it was. Or something like that, right? So
they beat Chelsea 2. So they went on a run here. I'll read it off for you. They went on a nice little run where it was like 5 wins out of 8. So Chelsea, they won 2-1, 4-1 versus Brentford, 3-0 versus Everton. That's what it was. 3-0 versus Everton. That's the one that I was thinking of. Then they drew with Brentford. And then they played Brentford 3 times in 4 matches and won 2 out of 3 and drew the other one. And Brentford caused us all type of problems. Brighton, they drew at Brighton. They beat West Brom in the Cup. Lost to United 3-4. That was a crazy game. I remember that one. And then most recently, they stomped Chelsea 4-2 is what it was. And then they lost to Brentford last week, 2-0.
Like, Wolves have won, I think, 2 out of the last 5 times we played them. And so it's like Wolves are not a team they do play well against us. So it's not going to be an easy game whatsoever. So yeah, it's
we need a Jan Vertonghen moment. Is that what you're saying? In the pouring rain, when you turn to your right.
Do you know what? Do you know who I'd love to score tomorrow? I'd love Mickey van der Ven to get a goal tomorrow. That'd be like to score the winner or something like that. He's going to take the mantelpiece over or to try say, I'm here now. Don't worry, Spurs fans. I'm your new Super Jan. I'm Super Ven. That's it. Exactly. So,
bro, if he scores and does I may cry live on air. I'm not gonna lie.
I think there's going to be a lot of people clipping that, Jacob, tomorrow if you do that. I think that's going to be everywhere on social media.
I won't. We have been crying. I've been crying for so long that we need a partnership, a duo. And how much better is it, now that we're sitting here I mean, bro, when some of those lineups from 2.5, 3 years ago are being shown, I throw up in my mouth a little bit. It's like
I know.
we got Dyer, Davies, Tanganga in the back line. I'm like, what are we doing here? And now we have what Messi says, the best defender in the world. Our manager said he is one of the best defenders in the world, in Cuti Romero.
Yeah.
And then Mickey Van Ven, I'm going to say one of the best fucking youngsters in the league at this juncture.
I think
as far as center back signed this year, has there been any better?
No, I mean
center backs that came into the league this year. Josko Vardiol's had some decent moments.
In terms of like newcomers coming into the league, there's no young defender that's as good as him this season. That's a fact. I think, I think the scorers. Sonny likes to score against Wolves, so I'm gonna go. I think he will start tomorrow. I don't know where. I think it'll probably be left wing. So I'm going to go Sonny and Van der Ven.
You think the Korean news is going to make him a little bit more motivated? You know, all this drama coming out about the ping pong, and now Jurgen Klinsmann got sacked.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Sonny was at the heart of a dust up between Kang In Lee and teammates.
No,
and
I didn't even.
They're saying that's you didn't hear about this.
I saw the ping pong.
Bro, it's sweeping. Zapur could correct me here, but as far as I know, it has taken like before Jurgen Klinsmann got sacked. Now that's dominating. He got sacked today, but it was like before that, everyone's. I mean, they're starting a petition to get Kang In Lee to never play for the national team again for mutiny. They're trying to get him dispelled for mutiny against Sonny. Bro, it is crazy. And they're saying that's why he got that break from PSG when he came back, because he was the only Korean that wasn't utilized in some manner. He was the only Korean that when he came back, their club said, I mean, the big name Koreans, I guess, but when he came back, they said you take a week off. You just take a week to he was the only one. So now it kind of makes more sense in my opinion. But real quick, a user with a super chat here says, throw the cockerel to the wolves. We will return leading the pack. Come on, you Spurs. Big up a user. I appreciate this super chat, my friend. Y'all have been very generous tonight with the donos and the gifting of memberships. Y'all will get shout outs at the end of the show. As always, I always shout out the sponsors of the show, which that is y'all, the ones who spend $1 on the super chats, memberships, gifting, all that shit. That y'all are the sponsors. I'm not sponsored by Manscaped. I'm sponsored by a user, among other people. So big up a user. I appreciate that super chat, and I agree with you, my friend. Let's fuck up them Wolves, man. Like I said, we got a setback time. Yes, ma'am.
Who do you think? What's your score prediction? Who do you think is going to score tomorrow? I'm intrigued to know.
I see this. Now, before the fullback thing, I was like, bro, we're going to get a 3-1. Yeah. I think if we had our fullbacks, I could see a 3-1, maybe a 4-2 type of game. I could see that, because what's going to happen if we score, Wolves are going to come out to play. They're going to be conservative, but if we strike first, they're going to come out to play. And I assume being at home, and we're going to allow it. We're going to say, hey, because we've let every motherfucker have fun, right? We say, everybody, you want a chance in front of goal? Here's your chance. Here's 2. Fuck it. I think they're going to get a chance on goal in the first 90 seconds. I genuinely believe that.
Okay.
The last 3 out of 4 matches, each team has had a shot on target in the first 90 seconds. So I may be wrong on that, but I remember United, they had a chance right off the bat. Everton, right off the bat. Brentford, right off the bat. Brighton, bro, that's 4 that I just named out of the last 5, 6. So, bro, we in the first opening minutes, we just fucking blast downfield, and then they get a chance on a counter real quick. That happens so often that I think that's going to happen. They're not going to score on that. But what's going to happen is we're going to respond, go a goal up. They're going to come out to play, and they're going to get a goal. I think it's going to be 1-1 at halftime, and I think second half we're going to get another. No, I think we'll score first. And then they're gonna open up, and we're gonna allow them to play, and then they're gonna take one. They're gonna get a few chances, and one of them I think they're gonna get 3 chances after the aforementioned first one in the 90 seconds. I think that is how it's going, because when Wolves can come out to play, they can fucking play. They can score goals. Yeah. It's not just Mateus Cunha. Remember, Lamina is the guy who put us in the dirt last time.
Yeah.
So they got fuckers popping up. Eight Nori, if he starts, Nelson Tomato's got pace to get him behind when he plays up. So like they have
dangerous
options.
team.
And their manager sets them up very well. And much to his credit, because at the beginning of the season, when Joseph Lopetegui, whenever he got sacked, I was like, they might get fucking relegated. He got sacked he quit 6 days before the season started. I was like, bro, they're gonna struggle. They got rid of Raul Jimenez, my boy Adama Traore. They're losing pieces. I thought they're gonna struggle. They got rid of Ruben Neves. He went to Saudi Arabia. There was a lot of things where I was like,
Man City. What was his name?
Neves.
The other guy. No, there was another. Neves went to Saudi Arabia.
It was Mateus.
Something like that.
Mateus. He's Portuguese. I think he is. Fuck, that's bothering me now. I know his name. Mateus something. Hey, baby.
Oh, is that his name? Hold on. What's his name?
It's like Mateus. I think his first or last name is Matthias.
Yeah, Matthias. Something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Matthias Nunes.
Matthias Nunes. That's it. Nunes. Yeah, him. Yeah, and they got rid of him as well, and he was pretty decent for them as well.
Yeah.
But they've just kept going. So
that's what's crazy about them. They somehow, some way just keep fucking going. But I think I think we're gonna go into half 1-1. That's my prediction. And then the second half, we either score 1 or 2. And I still think I still think we can get the win. I think we should get the win. We are at home. There's no reason to fucking capitulate in the manner in which we did at the Molineux. Again, I woke up at 5:15 in the morning and I saw Eric Dyer's face and I knew we were going to lose. Yeah, but guess what?
I knew
Dyer
that as
won't
well.
start. Højbjerg's not going to start.
No. The good thing is, right, it could be.
There's a lot of reasons why we should
it could even be like a 3-2. Like what I would love to see is just Tottenham come flying out the blocks and go and score 2 goals like in quick succession. That would be something that I haven't seen this season from the block, like from the start. And it would show, for me, it would show like they really want it like a lot. And they've it's a bit different to what we've seen so far this season in terms of the patterns of how we kind of play and how the game goes. So I'd like, could be a 3-2 as well, I think. But I think we will win tomorrow. I
think it's going to be a nail biter like always. And I love the fact that even if we're down 2 goals, we never quite feel out of it. And if we're up 2 goals, we never quite feel away from it. So it's always going to be, it's good for the content, I suppose. Not good for the heart rate.
It's not, but what is good for the heart rate is when you get that last minute winner. And I know it's not the way that like fans like it would be nice.
See my watch logs, bro. When we score those, I'm just like, fuck you. Who's talking to me now? Suck it.
Jacob.
Like, it's crazy.
That's the thing, right? Like my dad was watching the game. He actually doesn't watch them as much as he used to, right? And he messaged me saying, "Oh, I just watched the game," and then he was speaking about his thoughts on it. And then I was saying the whole game was pretty shit, but that one moment, right at the depth, and you've just gone and snatched the 3 points. It's a great moment as a fan when you go through that. If you're inside a stadium as well, it's amazing.
We've done it a few times. Sheffield, we did
Liverpool as well.
Oh man, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
Hey, shout out Joel Matip every single time.
Yeah, big up Joel Matip. You're the man.
Love Joel Matip, man.
You can do that anytime.
Let's go through some of the. Oh, I just gave you my prediction. I was supposed to go through the chat's predictions. I didn't tell you who's scoring the goals, though. I'll save that a little bit. 7 here says, I think we're going to win 3-2 tomorrow. Elder's got a 3-3. I think they're saying what we're saying as well. Malcolm Jones with a 3-0. Come on, you Spurs. Twan55 says 1-2 to them. Son and Neto with a brace, sadly. I see Neto balling out, Danny. Every time we're linked with a player, he fucking balls against us.
I see that as well. I see.
We were linked with that kid from Bournemouth who ended up going to Bournemouth.
Alex
He's like
Scott.
Alex Scott. I was gonna say Scott Jones, but Alex Scott. He go ahead and open your Premier League account.
Against the team he supports as a kid.
You
know what I mean? What a fucking story. That is Spursy. That's Spursy right there.
Yeah.
Did you?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, in the last few years, it's no matter what striker you are, we'll make you look good. we make strikers look good. Fucking what's his name last year? Kiefer Moore. I never heard of the motherfucker. Damn near on a hat trick.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the part for me. I struggle with accepting. But Bob Down Under
You know-
here's got a
you know-
3-1. Yeah, what's up?
Just one other thing. I know it's a bit off topic, but do you know what else would be Spursy? I don't know if you've seen this, Jacob, but have you seen the Bundesliga top scorer award, like the Golden Boot?
Yes, it's a fucking cannon. Like
It's
it
a
looks like the
fucking
Arsenal
cannon.
logo,
It
bro.
looks like, how Spursy
He's gonna
could
be
you
like
get,
this,
right?
holding it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that, holding up, not winning a single trophy, and the one trophy he's got is a fucking top scorer trophy with a fucking cannon. Like, how's you can't write this shit? Like, honestly, you cannot write it.
You couldn't write them getting Dyer from us. But what you can write is that they started Dyer and they fucking lost.
Yeah.
That's what happens. I've seen that 100 times. He played a full 90 minutes. You're asking to lose.
Yeah.
All right.
That's funny.
But it's bro, this is the year of irony. I feel it. This is the year of like, because it's the same thing, Danny, that I was told last summer. Oh, we you know, why do fans want Vardiol? Vardiol never come here. Yeah, he didn't, so they were right in that sense. But the notion of Spurs are too small. Why would we even try to sign them? That they're out of reach. That's for the upper echelon. But now this year, it's why are we going for those marquee players? That got to be the standards. We're going for Brennan Johnsons. We're going for this and that, and that's got to be the standard. And to me, it's just like, bro, whatever way the wind's blowing, people are gonna say, "Oh, it's this way. Oh, it's this way." And
I do think as well, like, players are definitely attracted, because players nowadays, if you watch, like, especially young players, they don't just want to go and play for a team just because. Some of them do, like, just to go and win trophies or whatever for money. Right, there are a lot of players out there, like top young talent, who want to go and play for the right team, right, and play the right style of football. And I think that's what attracts people, because as soon as they speak to Ange, they're like, "Yeah, I want in." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Phone call with Ange. You know what? Fuck you, Barcelona. You know what? Bayern Hunik? Fuck Wiener Schnitzel, my guy. I'm going to London.
It's like Jacob. He picks up the phone. It's like, mate, and that's it.
Mate,
that's all he has to say.
You want to play a little bit of ball, mate?
Mate.
Fuck yeah.
He just has to say that.
He won, bro.
Words.
I'm saying he was winning me over before we even kicked the. Actually, it was after West Ham, that first preseason match, where I said, I think I'll love this guy. I think I'm going to love him. But big up Bob Down Under has got 3-1. Richie's son, Brennan Johnson, off the bench. Netto for them. Nate Pye. Big up Nate Pye. Shout out the entire Pye family. Thank you again for the care package. You see, I got a Cuti Romero mug. So every liquid that I drink on show, coming from the Romero cup. Love to see it. Big up Nate Pies. Got 4-3 to the good guys. Donovan Ostrikers got 2-1. Romero. Oh, I need me a Cuti goal. If we get a fucking Cuti goal, I'm out of here. He's got Nori scoring and Richarlison with the game winner. Love to see that as well. Looks like some arguments going on here. Zapour's got a 3-0 Son hat trick. Oh, Son, talk to me nicely. I think
if he plays up front, he would.
This is why I think Son, from wherever he's playing, why I believe that this could be attainable is because all the shit going on with Korea. And he knows Korea's watching when he plays. Everyone in Korea is going to be watching Hwang Hee-chan's Wolves versus Heung-min Son's Tottenham. So what better way to say, I am Heung-min dad, than to get a hat trick? So Zapour, I fucking love it.
Heung-min daddy.
Heung-min daddy. Heung-min papa. J-Co's got 5-1. Sonny with 4 goals. Oh, a hat 4. Talk to me, baby. Love to see that. Big up Bobby K. Big up David Shear as well. Love the Immaculate Vibes, Jacob and Danny K. Big up David Shear every single time. Big up Bobby K. 3 Spurs boys. David Shear's got 3-1 Spurs. Love to see it. Mount Everest got 2-0 Tottenham Hotspur. And they're correcting us here on that name of the city. Prospector, 3-0 Spurs. Volk, 2nd round KO. Lest we forget, UFC 298 is this weekend. I think it's 298, something like that. Talk to me nicely. Yeah. Yes. I think that's all the predictions that came into the chat, so I'll leave that there. I appreciate every single one of you. Look, this has been a fantastic show. 2.5 hours. Honestly,
Long
did
one.
not expect to go that long. My
No.
wife did not expect me
I
to do
bet
the
she
stream
didn't.
that long.
Tell her I
That's why
said
she's
sorry.
poked. She's poked her head in here about 3 times. Like, are you done? But there we are, man. Hey, Danny, real quick, do you have anything you want to plug before any final thoughts about tomorrow?
No, I think like final thoughts. I just think we just have to try and play as best as we can and hope that we can, with the players that are out there tomorrow, they can go and get us the 3 points. That's what I want to see. I think we should keep trying to. I think this season now we have to just keep trying to implement the style that Ange wants, regardless of the players that are playing in the positions. Like he's alluded to, that's what we need to do. Because when we do eventually get the better quality of players, then they should be able to fit into that system even more so. And then you'll see the level raised within the squad because there'll be a lot more options to play, a lot more rotation. So we just got to keep trying to get the 3 points, get that confidence in that team. So yeah, let's hope we can get the 3 points tomorrow.
I think we will. You know what?
I'm
gonna be like Thomas the Tank Engine. I think we can. But look, folks, this has been a fantastic episode 155. Hopefully it makes up for yesterday's blunder. I had a very bad show yesterday, Danny. I only went for about an hour. I don't know, bro. I was just like, I had just done a stream before, and then I was doing the show, and it was like I couldn't think, and I was super distracted, and I couldn't formulate my thoughts well. So I just unlisted the fucking episode. I thought it was like I listened back to about half of it, and I was like, bro, this is so bad. This is probably one of my worst episodes I've ever done. So I had to end it off there.
And then you got to have a 2.5 hours of me, Jacob. So
bro, what a fucking show it was. Thank you so much, Danny.
Thank
Tottenham
you for
on tour.
inviting me.
The legend.
Appreciate it a
I
lot.
appreciate you very much. And I do appreciate every single one of you in the chat who've hit the like as well. That is absolutely free. But I also appreciate so much the sponsors of today's show. And I've got a long list, so let me run through it very, very quickly. Big up Chang, gifting 5 membos and a super chat. Bob Down Under with his super chat. 7 gifted 7 memberships. What a guy. 7SC gifting 7 memberships. Appreciate that. Bob Down Under with his second super chat. And then we got Ellie with a membership chat and the big dono of the night from Ellie. I appreciate you blessing my family. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Queen Ellie of North London. She is Tottenham Hotspur's very own. She is one of us. So when you say, she's one of our own, she's one of our own, Queen Ellie Bentancur, because she changed her name, she's one of our own. All right. Big up, Ellie. I appreciate you. Big up, Bob Down Under. He's always in here plugging these super chats. I appreciate you. Ellie with 2 more 10-pound super chats. I appreciate it. She was killing it. Yeah, she was killing it tonight. And big shout out to Ellie's daughter as well. Hopefully she's rehabbing really, really well and comes back even better. She's going to bounce back like James Madison, all right? Dietrich Kane came in here with 2 super chats as well. I appreciate that, Dietrich. Big up to a user. Bob Down Under, he's still getting it in. Yes, sir, Bob Down Under. Chang with another super chat and a user with the final super chat. I appreciate every single one of you whose name I just read off. Y'all have absolutely blessed the channel. I curse a lot, so I'm often demonetized, but y'all have just monetized us with money. So there we all are. Yes, Bob. And tomorrow, watch along here at this channel. I'm going to be on Weird Tottenham TV for the pump up. So you can catch me there pumping pumping it up. Shout out Joe Biden. And then my earbud just died. But I will be on Weird Tottenham TV, and then I'll be here straight after for the watch along. We're gonna have a lot of fun tomorrow, and we're gonna get those full 3 because if we don't, Daddy gotta hurt somebody. But hopefully I don't, and hopefully my dog gets to eat. And I just refreshed. We are over 100 likes, so big up. Let's make sure. Let me double check. Y'all have liked the video enough. Everyone. 108 likes. Chewy's getting dinner. I appreciate that. 145 votes. 74% says Tottenham winning. Love to see that. Y'all are beautiful. Big up 7. Love you too, mate. God bless you as well. Again, I will be here bright and early in the morning. Too blessed to be stressed. And I'm also going to say too blessed to be pressed. So when Joe Leone, any Arsenal fans in the chat, they come around trying to spread that negative energy, guess what that means to me? You can't press me, baby. I'm press resistant. Too blessed to be pressed. So I hope you are tonight and tomorrow, and we're going to kick things off. Hopefully get you all bright and early here at the watch along where I will be. So until next time, folks, do me 3 more favors. I need you to stay blessed, stay fresh, up the lads. I guess it's 4. And come on, you Spurs.
Good.
Good.
United Spurs of America with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.